Welcome to another episode, or series, or whatever this is, because, well, we're us. Where last we left our heroes, where I'm not sure if we can really call ourselves heroes yet, because we really haven't done much of the saving type of stuff yet. I mean, you could argue about the little girl, but she might not even be saved yet. She could still die or be evil or something. Who knows? But I digress. We started off last time with Onyx immediately screwing up because of a missing word in a deal that he still swears was missing. Cole stepping into a pile of Sai's puke after concern by Onyx was just brushed away. During some conversations, the group debated on how to carry the little girl out of this dungeon and settled on a papoose. And Calix, through the use of the papoose, has now gained dad vibes and has grilling proficiency. Onyx gave Sai a piggyback ride after she cleaned herself up. And we decided to leave that horrible person, Ryzen, behind. Because, no one likes him. But we do take the bones of Biscuits and Gravy back to the top to be buried. We took the tunnel. It was about a few hundred feet or so. We exit the tunnel to see a shit ton of dead bodies and a large woman killing an apparent necromancer with a flaming sword. As she saw us after killing the apparent necromancer, we all started speaking at once in a panic because she was tall and scary. After we finally were able to talk to her a little bit, and Ataraxia stepped forward and spoke the truth because she had no choice, the person went down and dragged up Ryzen's body and then immediately incinerated it, to the amusement of half of the party and the dismay of the other half of the party. Afterward, we learned that this person was the Royal Knight Abigail, who we explained what happened to us, and then she became a very depressed person and sat on the ground contemplating probably everything. Sai, being the smallest, walked up to this giant and kind of put her in her place a little bit. And then we informed her that we need to find one of the Dragon General's allies and unite the kingdoms. She said she would grant us an audience with the king. And then, as we were trying to do something with Biscuits and Gravy, she brought up that since they're part of the Moonglow Trading Company, that we should bring it back to Sundress. Immediately after that, Cole got on her bad side because he did rogue things and has to loot the bodies of the victims that were necromancied, to her shock and dismay, and said no. To which Cole still asked if it was in quotations or not. Afterwards, after clearing a trail, the team sat in a large wagon and moved forward. Sai decided to sit next to Abigail with her permission, under the guise that she had to be out of her way, to which Sai responded, "I'm small. I'll be small." During the travels, Onyx and Sai had a moment, and Onyx offered to help her, and she helped him, then unhelped him, then helped him again, in terms of cleaning up the amount of blood on his body. All of our quote-unquote heroes decided to commune with their soul weapons to varying degrees of success. Afterwards, there was a brief discussion about how we're going to approach the king in terms of what we call ourselves, TBD. And then there was some things that needed to be hashed out between Cole and Calix, and then Sai and Calix, and Onyx and Salix with Cole. And then Calix kind of trauma dumped a little bit, starting to gain the trust of the others. And then Onyx was an absolute moron and blew a secret that he didn't know he was supposed to hold because Cole didn't even know his name. And now we're in a wagon. So, buckle up and get ready for the shit show that is going to be this episode of 2 Dungeons, 2 Dragons, Ophisterra Drift.
Amazing. A round of applause for our local storyteller. That was incredible.
It was
You
beautiful.
Canadian.
I only forehead slapped myself
have-
3 times.
I have several things to say about some of those things, but it's okay. It's a pretty good recap.
It's an intro. It's a perspective relevant intro, and we listen and we don't judge. Or
Oh, I didn't judge it.
Whatever
I
they
didn't
say
judge
on
it.
next to
TikTok.
him.
But
This fucking asshole is just. I'm
laughing.
sitting here next to him. I am
There was-
literally crying. I fucking teared
Is that why Onyx kept messing up that whole time? Because
yeah,
No.
that's why. That's why.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. No.
It's not because the singular hamster on a wheel in Onyx's head was stuttering. But all
Wait, you don't have a
that being said,
hamster?
all that being said, all those things did happen in somewhat that way, shape, and form. The party left off.
Oh, that was read off in order.
Yeah. All the party, they left off approaching the front entrance of a large fort, and that is where we begin today. As the cart rounds, as the cart rounds the last hill leading over up to a bridge across the river that divides the continent, a large fort comes into view. This fort is entirely stone in structure, 50-foot high walls with large 5-foot high dragon's teeth lining the entire top wall. Every 10 or so feet stands an archery emplacement, and on top of the wall, at strategic positioning, lies 5 ballistae and 5 catapults on each side of the fort, each positioned to face the corresponding bridge. Surrounding the fort is a large moat filled with a blackish liquid, dark water, with faint bits of movement to be seen inside. Entranced only by 2 drawbridges, one facing either bridge, both of which are currently positioned upwards. As such, there is no way inside of the fort. As the cart rounds the bridge and exits the stone structure, it approaches the edge of the moat where the cart comes to a stop, and from the topmost watchtower of the fort, a singular gentleman in what appears to be standard soldier leather armor peers down from the watch and calls out below, stating for identification. Without saying a word, your Royal Knight accomplice simply flashes that very ornate placard she showed you, and you watch as the man pales instantly and signals for the gate to be opened. The drawbridge falls open in front of you, and you watch as behind the drawbridge there is a large steel portcullis that is also immediately drawn upwards, that was hidden by the bridge, and you are ushered in by 2 guards as the cart resumes, and you enter what you all know to be Fort Fingers, commonly called Fort Lord's Fingers, colloquially. A fort all of you, at some point in your adventures, have passed through the civilian portion of and paid a toll to transfer safely over through the use of either of these bridges in the human empire. You are brought into a large common throughway in the fort that seems to connect both ends of the fort, with the end of the fort that connects towards where the capital would be, where the cart is waved to a stop by more soldiers as they walk up to inspect the cart and those riding it. What do you do?
Let Abigail do her thing.
She gets off the cart and lets them inspect it. What do you do? Are you attempting to hide anything? Hide your identities, hide your faces, stop the cart from being searched? You are part of the cart. You are part of the cart, ergo you will also be searched for contraband. Like, this is ye olde TSA. What do you comply?
Calyx is going to follow example and kind of get off the cart and stand next to Abigail.
Sounds too exhausted to fight or do anything, so she follows.
Oh, and I think I have the kid in the papoose with me still. So
You do.
I just want to make sure we do not leave her on the cart alone.
Comply
I'm
with
trying to
probably
make sure I
pretty
don't have
smart.
anything on me that needs to be hidden. I don't think I do.
If any of you have, like, I don't know, drugs or something from your backstory, you might want to tell me that you're hiding it.
I mean, I'm good. I'll just comply with what they say for now.
I think the worst contraband I have is biscuits.
Yeah. You guys do have 2 bodies.
Yeah,
We do have biscuits and gravy. We better just, like, be careful about
I'll
that.
explain biscuits and then or gravy and then
Yeah, I feel like if we explain where we're going with them, it might make
And then
enough
comply with
sense.
the soldiers.
Okay. So you see as
Yeah, I'm gonna
a
comply.
series
I'm not
of like
judging.
unranked, unnamed, generic foot soldiers kind of sift through the cart. They look for false bottoms. They look for bags or anything that could hold contraband. They look underneath the wheels to see if anything was maybe affixed underneath that you could be smuggling, and they ultimately don't find anything. They seem very nonchalant, as though they are fairly certain that someone bearing the crest of a royal knight is probably also not drug smuggling, but they are doing their job, if only for appearance, either to said royal knight or to their bosses, wherever they may be. Someone comes up and speaks to Abigail very quickly in hushed tones, and then she waves them off. And eventually, people do come up to you. They do take notice of the two corpses, the two sets of bones, human bones. You explain, and Abigail once again makes a hand sign, and they immediately drop the issue, seemingly satisfied with her taking responsibility for whatever related thing that might be. They all seem very, I just work here, I don't care, as most soldiers on base during not a war tend to be. They are more concerned about their next chance they could go drink. This process is explained to take some amount of time. You are free to rest or do anything you want in the common way of this fort. They say it'll take a few minutes to maybe half an hour if you'd like to do so. Otherwise, a rather ornate looking figure comes down, speaks to Abigail, points to all of you, and then makes a gesture, like a thumb over their shoulder. And Abigail will tell you that once the cart inspection is complete, you have been summoned, so to speak, to speak with the leader of the fort for questioning in what could only be assumed to be Abigail came here without you and came back with you, and they want to know who you are. But that is not immediate. You can go there when you feel like. You are not forced to do that at this time. So if you would like to,
I don't feel like ever doing it.
yeah, well, you can certainly try.
Okay.
As it stands right now, you have about 30 in-game minutes to meander around the common way, or just sit for 30 more minutes, or talk to a random soldier if you feel like talking. But it would seem as though you are probably going to have to speak to someone fairly high up, for the reason it seems that you've piqued their interest.
Question: when you say common way, are we just are we like in a market stall area, or like?
So it's this entire installation is a fortress, like a medieval anti-siege fortress, but there is a Y-shaped cutout in the fortress that lead to the two portcullises, and the portcullis on the back end. Right? Yeah, it's effectively a courtyard, but it's not like grass and trees, and it's very nice. It's it's all stone, extremely militaristic, thick walls, very mundane lamps and rudimentary. Like, it is bleak, but it is open. You could probably fit 2 or 3 carts wide on either pathway, and then all the way through. It looks like it's designed. This is the only public section of the fort where you would come through, pay a toll, be inspected, and then get out, if only to help mitigate smuggling or crime. But this seems to be primarily a military installation with a commercial aspect kind of wedged out through the center.
Can I talk to the nearest guard?
You can. There's a random guard just kind of sitting 10 or so feet away from the cart. He's just holding like a mundane spear, and he's watching the other guards rifle through the cart.
I go up to him and ask him if he has any snacks.
And he looks around like at other guards and then at himself, and he like pats himself down, and he reaches into a pouch, and he has this like tiny leather pouch, and he opens it, and he's got like 4 pieces of jerky that you figure were probably saved from breakfast. And then he kind of looks down at him, and then looks at you, and then looks back down at him, and then he pulls out the smallest piece and like hesitantly hands it towards you and goes, "That's all I got."
Can I have the other ones too?
No.
And I give him...
Yeah, you can roll persuasion as he He looks at you tentatively.
Well, I think you're probably a really great guard and doing a really good job, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And I'm kind of really tired, and I was hoping I could have some more snacks, and I'll come back and give you some more later when I get more.
Okay.
All right.
He looks at you and doesn't say anything. He just kind of squints suspiciously. And then he looks around at the other guards.
When he's looking away, can I steal some snacks?
Okay. You roll sleight of hand.
The dragon in me is craving me do this.
This sounds fun. I want to come join.
Perception.
Does that work?
That is hilarious. So let me explain what happens. So you roll persuasion. He's in his head. He's like, okay. He looks around to see if any other guards are looking because he's on the job and he's clearly socializing, and when he should be searching the cart. And you were slightly above average persuasion. He matched you in insight with persuasion, so he was going to look around to see if the other guards were looking, and then he probably would have handed you another piece or two. He looks back from looking at the guards, and he sees your hand in the bag, and then he just kind of freezes and looks down at your hand, and then looks up at you, and then raises, like, think The Rock raising one eyebrow, and he are we really gonna do this, or do you want to take your hand back?
I look at him and I go, I'm so sorry, my hand slipped.
Roll deception.
Please. Please. What the fuck? Oh wait, +5.
That is +5.
11.
No, the 5's already included. You rolled a 6.
Dang it.
Okay. So he rolled a 10. So with no modifier. So he looks at you, he looks at your hand, he looks up at you, he goes, "Oh, can't be helped. Happens all the time." and then he just
I take my hand.
and then he just puts the bag back on his pouch. You do not get any additional pieces of jerky, but he also does not arrest you. So
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate this. And then I shove the snack in my face and I walk away.
he
That's all I wanted.
locks in, and he goes back to like his soldiers standing, looking important position, even though he's just standing there watching other people do the work.
Good job, sir. You're doing it. Doing God's work.
He flashes you like a thumbs up, and then goes back.
I'm done. Anyone else?
So I'm gonna turn to Abigail and go, hey, do you know if there's any like first aid or medic at this fort who can take a look at this little girl while we're talking to who's the leader of this fort again?
You're talking to just like
Abigail.
one of the soldiers. Oh, Abigail. Oh,
Yeah, if she's still here, unless she took off.
well, she's having at the same time she's having that kind of like conversation with the person who's dressed slightly nicer. They're kind of back and forthing and gesturing. But unless you wait for them to finish, and then you can walk over.
No, then I'll talk to one of the soldiers who would know if there's like a first aid or anything like that around here. And then who the leader of the fort is, so I'd be like, ask that as well.
Okay. Then the soldier will go, we don't have a medic per se. We have a couple of corpsmen who deal with the standard issues, but they're fairly trained. We could probably get one over there if she's injured. They don't do much with diseases or anything more specific, though. That would be more of a doctor in the capital. As for who's in charge, that would be General Ironside.
General Ironside, okay.
Everyone can roll history. If you're native to the human empire, you can roll history.
You said roll history?
Would that include
You can
us?
choose to or choose to fail. It's just if you know that name.
Give me 1 sec. I got it. Cole is making a deposit at the chocolate factory.
Happens. Okay. I would say Onyx is X amount years old. Okay. Onyx, you've heard the name, not in a particularly good or bad sense. It's just like you know that they are a general of the country. You've never seen them. They've not attended big parades or any sort of grandiose thing, but they're a name you've definitely heard mentioned, it like by a town crier every now and then. Back when you were younger, not so much these days. Brontes with a natural 23. You recognize that name. That is the name of the general who made his debut, so to speak, 20 years ago during the conflict with the Orc Nation, where now the King's Shield Fortress stands. He was just a general soldier of no renown going into that conflict, but his performance in that skirmish with the band of orc clans that were taking prisoners and his inevitable freeing of those prisoners earned the attention of other high-ranking officers, and once eyes were on him, he almost instantly shot up the ranks, and he gained the rank of general extremely quickly. Recently, though, this was 25 years ago. Recently, though, rumor has it, only you've heard this rumor, that as he gets older and weaker, he can't hang with soldiers anymore. He would be more of a liability. He was always more physically strong than tactically sound. So it has been said that the king, or at least whatever aspect of the kingdom that handles military placement, put him at this fort because there was nothing to do. There was no enemies. It's far away from the border. The fort basically just collects tolls, so he could keep his rank, but basically lost on keep his rank on paper, but lost all his responsibility in the public eye of the people who know this, and that has been said to not sit well with a lot of the higher rank military. They think he should just retire, but he refuses to, either out of pride or stupidity.
Gotcha.
Oh, so like a normal government employee.
That is the joke. But
Okay. So I go. Thank you for your time. This doesn't seem like an illness thing, so maybe we'll just wait for the capital. Thank you for your time, though, and yeah. And then I should go back, and that's kind of all I wanted to do at this point. Because there's no market or anything here. There's a small market, but I'm more concerned about the dying child.
Fair enough. Is there anything anyone else wants to do before going to speak to who you now presume is General Ironside?
Cole and I are chilling.
I'm good.
Ataraxia, want to do anything specific? Don't know, Walt.
Sorry, I was thinking. I can't really think of anything I can do, so no, not really.
Snacks?
Then we'll
We're
say...
not. I
Snacks.
turned to sign. We're not asking anybody for any more snacks.
Yeah. Okay, then after approximately...
Snacks are forbidden.
Yeah, approximately 30 minutes
Sai just
passed.
rolls their eyes.
The inspection of your wares and of the cart completes. The soldiers give the thumbs up to that relatively slightly more ornately dressed soldier. The soldier gives them a thumbs up back. They all more ornate standing one holds out a hand as though to gesture the direction you'll be walking, and then waits for you all to approach.
He likes you first.
Why am I approach? But why am I first?
I follow.
Onyx and Cole would prefer to be to the back of the line.
Comply with the demands and go.
I would like to state we're not using the child as a shield first and foremost.
I'm using you
I
as a
kind of
shield.
like
I'm
this
not
idea.
using
I'm
said
just not
child.
going to say it out loud.
Kind of sad that you have to specify that.
I just something in
Something
me is
about
like
this
I don't
crew,
know.
I don't know. There's somebody here in this group who's a little weird. Sorry.
A little weird. Good
It
joke.
might be me.
Miss-
Mikey?
Hey, let's just continue on here, okay? Don't be mean to me. I'm fragile.
Okay. So you all form up, and you all... who's in front doesn't necessarily matter, because it seems that you're going to be led by this individual. But you all walk with this individual.
Yes.
Do any of you attempt to speak to
Yes.
them?
So they're just. So did they say anything, or they just kind of
Nope,
gestured?
they have not said a word. The
off.
only people they have spoken to was to Abigail, intentionally quietly.
Can
Okay.
I ask them who they are and where they're taking us?
Okay. They look. I guess they would look. You're pretty tall. They look up at you, and they take off their helmet, and you see a approximately 5 foot 5 inch tall tiefling woman, light purple skin, more like towards like a lavender with the same color hair. Looks to be mid to early 20s, and she looks at you and says, "I'm Melinda, and you're going to speak to the general. Anything other than that is irrelevant." And then she stops talking to you.
You're irrelevant.
Do you say that out loud?
I mutter it under my breath.
Okay. She does
You
not
said
hear
lavender
it.
hair?
Yes.
She doesn't hear it.
She didn't make her.
Fantastic.
I'm surprised she
I
didn't
mean,
make her
anyone
roll.
else hear
And you
it?
said
That's the
purple
question.
skin?
So, like, what's the passive perception needed to hear this?
It's like a offhanded quip, and she doesn't really care. So I was more rolling to see like if it was a good number, she would have heard it. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. She's a soldier, but she's not she's not stat. She doesn't have stats. She's not intentionally perceptive. So it was more like a ballpark. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna give every person you meet a stat block. I would rip my hair out. So
I mean, that's entirely fair. I'm just thinking, like, I would have actually, like, assisted Sai on that one if she actually said anything, but that's fine.
Oh, I mean, you guys can decide to hear that. That you guys are you're in control of your own characters. If your passive perception is good, or if you think
I'm
you
also
heard it,
gonna chuckle
then you could say it.
besides
But
comment.
Melinda did not hear it. That is what matters. You can whisper to each other and just say, like, I say it quietly enough that she doesn't hear.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just gonna give Sai a look, but it's not gonna be like a bad or a good look. It's just like one of acknowledgement, like, yeah, fair enough.
I hear Bronte's chuckle at my comment. I hold out my arm for like an arm bump or whatever.
I'm gonna bump back.
She walks you through this very almost labyrinthine fort, almost intentionally confusingly. It seems like she's walking you through paths you've walked before, back and forth, across hallways, through rooms that connect through the mess hall, that go up a flight of stairs, just to walk down a hall to go down a flight of stairs. You don't know if the fort is designed to be this confusing for sake of invaders, or if she is intentionally leading you in a confusing way so that if something were to happen, you would not know where to go. It seems she has not ruled you as friend or foe just yet. Impossible to tell. But eventually, after 5 or 10 minutes, you do come across a very large set of oaken doors that are like stained with this almost black natural stain, with 2 large ornate copper polished door knockers where the handles would be. And she walks up and picks one up with both hands and just slams it 2 or 3 times into the door, and you watch as the door opens automatically, almost magically. And she waves you into the room, but stands at the doorway.
Hey, quick question. Is Abigail with us?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just
Why, you
couldn't
getting
remember
scared?
if you said that.
You getting scared?
No, I was legit asking. I couldn't remember if you said one way or the other.
Onyx
I'm afraid of
is like,
ghosts.
I could take a general, but so long as Abigail's got my back. Guy turns level 3, all of a sudden he thinks he can fight the world.
I mean,
But yeah, you...
Can
I'll
I
back on
follow the
blank.
lady's gesture into the room?
Okay. As you walk into the room, you see a fairly militaristic, empty room. Stone, bare floors, stone, bare walls. One window, but it's barred with metal bars, so you couldn't climb in or out of it if you attempted to without removing the bars. Thick stone walls. The only notable things in this room are a very simple wooden desk and a very simple bed and wardrobe, both wooden, with one sheet folded neatly at the end. And you see somewhere in his mid-60s, old human man, fairly pale skin, but a little bit of tan, like he's had to spend a lot of time in the sun, to the point where it's starting to lean into burn. And he's sitting at the desk. His hair is short and gray, very military style buzz cut, and he is wearing this very notably old and ill-fitting, but very well polished and well maintained silver armor with a bunch of medals pinned to his, what would be like his chest plate. They look like medals that you would get in like some sort of ceremony, and he wears them on the outside of his combat armor.
Mm-hmm. The room you described sounds like a prison cell.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he's not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with him.
What a line.
Does he say anything, or he's just kind of staring at us?
He is actively doing paperwork, but he does not stop doing paperwork. Like, he looks up and notices you, and is watching you all like filter in, but he does not stop what he is doing.
Can I like roll a history to see if I know like any like military customs due to my background, or no? Like on the human empire side, or no, not really?
You could roll a general history for that.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure like what's the
like
proper
how to
thing to do here,
stuff?
like just to say nothing, just to wait for him to kind of like look at us, you know, like I just don't want to do anything offensive to him, like based on my background.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, roll history.
Well,
you do
no sheet.
You know that in the military they do salute each other. That's it.
I do
That's
not
what you know.
him. do not salute him. I just kind of wait there, and I'm guessing I like commotion for everybody else to kind of stand in a line with me, so it's not like a weird one line and I'm the only one looking like I'm
like a crowd,
walking in.
Yeah.
I'll go stand next to him.
Okay.
Ditto.
You all line up, and
I'll
then
stand next to him.
you hear the doors close behind you, and you see closing the doors is Melinda, and she has pulled the doors closed and is standing between you guys and the doors. She's not at rest, but she has like her hands behind her back, and he, without looking up, still looking down at his paperwork, waves a hand over and goes and signals to Melinda and goes, "The report," and seemingly in a very hurried tone, like a very impatient tone. And she scurries over fairly quickly and hands him a piece of paper that you did not notice she was carrying, that he quickly skims over to, and then he stops writing his paper and then slowly looks up at you and goes, 6 people and a child? What?
I like motion to the papoose.
Yeah. And he looks at the kid, and then he looks at all of you, and then he looks at the orc that's holding him and goes, "Yours?" Like raised eyebrow, because she does not look orcish.
Is
I like kind of
make
Abigail is 6 people. It would imply, it would seem he knows who Abigail is, and the report is on the new people who he does not know.
Okay.
And so that's the vibe you're getting, because she is not in line with you.
She's just kind of
she's not in line with you. She's just kind of leaning against a wall. She seems extremely comfortable here. You guys seem to be getting sussed out by the general, and yeah.
Okay, so at this point, I'll kind of like wave my hand, like you can't see the gesture I'm making, but like it's like one of the, no, not mine. We were kidnapped by a necromancer, and she was also held captive there. She was used in some sort of ritual, and she just seems very exhausted right now and needs medical attention.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And he looks past you at Abigail, and she gives like a nod to say that you're not bullshitting him, because that's a very interesting story. And then he kind of hurriedly looks through his papers in like a curmudgeoned way, as though like, oh, I just saw it around here somewhere. And he pulls out another piece of paper and he goes, "Caravan for the Moon Glow Trading Company disappears. No survivors found." That sound familiar?
We were hired guards for the caravan. One second we were on the caravan, next thing we knew we woke up in a dungeon next to this little girl, and I kind of point to her, were the bodies of Biscuits and Gravy, who were our employers for the caravan. They did not live to get through the ritual, unfortunately. We do have their bodies with us to take back to the Moonglow Trading Company.
Oh, good. That makes this easy. And then he like stamps a piece of paper and he slides it around to you, and he goes, "Could you sign this?"
What does this say?
Can I read that?
I mean, you could step forward and read it. It's just a paper that says like urgent missive from the capital. Caravan did not report back in blank area. Led by so and so, so and so. It says Biscuits and Gravy, and then it says total amount of missing persons, X amount. Total amount of missing cargo, X amount of gold. All information immediate. Locate caravan immediately. And then you see he has signed at the bottom his name. No survivors but 6. I'm sorry, no survivors but 7. And then it writes 6 adults, 1 child. And then there's a line that says claimant and a listed reward of 5 gold for information or solution of the problem. And he seems to be asking you to sign it as the person who solved the problem.
I sign it.
Okay. He hands you 5 gold. And he goes, "Good job."
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be 7? We all get 1.
Nope.
Nope.
Bullshit.
And
I'll
then
keep it in my pocket for now. We'll distribute it later. I kind of like look at them and I'll give it to you later.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Sure
and,
you will.
and then he goes, "Okay, well that's one problem solved. So, great. Anything else I should know about that? Or is that a handled situation? I've got a lot on my plate."
Ryzen's dead, but we don't know what happened to the caravan itself. Like the necromancer who kidnapped us, his name was Ryzen. He passed away. Abigail, and I kind of point to her, ensured that he had passed away. And other than that, no more necromancers in the area. But yeah, the cart full of supplies mentioned in this report is still missing.
I would also like to look over at Abigail, like with a questioning look, like, are we supposed to bring the dragon general?
You give
Telepathy?
that's a very specific look, but I will say like
No, like I'm
Yeah.
trying to look over at her, like, is that enough, or should we be saying something else?
Yeah, she returns a look of looks are difficult to decode, but I will say she does give a look of like, this is just a pencil this is a pencil pusher and he's pushing pencils. He probably doesn't need to know anything more than what you've told him or like what you're telling him. This seems like a very paperwork-esque transaction and not a guy who needs to know the moral imperative of the world. Like he's just he's just an old guy doing paperwork and he wants one more piece of paper off of his paper, off his desk.
He earns retirement.
That is an impressive look.
She has an eye patch. It really helps sell it.
Those are really, really,
Yeah, really.
good storytelling
good at
hooks, man.
Does she project?
I'm surprised you didn't make a real
little,
perception on
images
that.
in her mind so that we like know what she's thinking?
I am this close to giving her the telepathy invocation, so don't push me. I'll make her if you think I won't make her a warlock, I swear to God.
But that's really all we know about the situation. So solved.
He seems incredibly nonplussed at the situation, and he like already puts the paper in like the filed category. He's like, I care more about the people than the goods. They'll turn up or they won't. Whatever. We can always grow more corn. We can always knit more sweaters. Like, I don't care. And he is seemingly excited to not have to deal with one more missive from the capital. And you see that there is another stack of like 16 more missives in that pile that he is currently signing and doing things and stamping, and it seems very bureaucratic. And he seems now that you look at him, now that you've spoken to him, he seems kind of tired, but like bags under his eyes, and like his hunched forward, like his shoulders are very heavy. You think the massive heavy metal armor on this 60-plus-year-old man probably isn't helping that, but he seems to be wearing it for some reason, and he is just like steadily chipping away. And then as you kind of finish up your report towards what happened, he starts to answer ask the more generic questions like, okay, what are your plans for the capital? What is your intentions? How long have you been traveling? do you need lodging for tonight, or do you think or do you plan on lodging outside? Like the more generic, customs-esque questions. If anyone wants to answer those.
Could you recommend lodgings for us
You could sleep here.
Is it expensive?
here?
Yeah,
this
in a fort we have it's a barracks.
Oh.
I'm sure I can find 6 beds.
7.
I assume the child was going to stay with one of you.
Yeah.
The papoose.
Yeah.
Well, that
In
would
a bed.
That would be great if there is space for us, but we don't want to impose. Obviously, this is a very important place. You're doing very important work.
Ordinarily I would care. You're with her, and he kind of like head nods towards Abigail. And you get this vibe of like she has probably come through here a lot since it's the only way out of the capital in this direction. They seem to know each other. They both seem very nonplussed. Just her being here has seemingly like not won him over, but you are instantly not like an unknown entity that he needs actual attention to try to diagnose. He's just kind of taking her presence as word that that she's vouching for you, and he seems to know her well enough that there's no reason for him to question every person that she brings through here. You're probably with her for a reason. So he's like, yeah, you can sleep here if you want. Just let me know how many of you are sleeping here. Sleep in the woods for all I care. Not really my business. But then ultimately he is like, what is your intention for the trip to the capital? Because you weren't with her when she left and now you are. So are you immigrating to the capital? Do you have homes there? Are you citizens of the capital? Merchant? Or is it merchant? What are you doing? Commerce?
Well, first things first is you guys don't really have the adequate medical facilities to take care of the little girl, so that's the main reason why I'm going, as well as, yeah. But anybody else have any other reasons for going to the capital?
We're also
Commerce
trying
and
to return
shopping.
biscuits and gravy to the Moonglow Trading Company.
Thank you.
And
I had heard
Abigail-
that.
And Abigail has asked us to assist with her reporting of it as witnesses.
Works for me. And then he on the note that Melinda handed him, he kind of scribbles that at the bottom and then puts it in his desk just as a brief record of like, you see him write exemptions and then 1 medical and then et al. Not police, but the ye oldie word of helping the cops is what he writes. That's like
Feds.
yeah. And then he's like they're with
Snitches.
yeah they're gonna provide
Business.
statements or whatever, like however you would say that. I'm tired. And then
Aren't we
he
all?
does all that and he's like, okay, cool. He goes, if you are in urgent medical attention, there's not a ton I can do. I have corpsmen who have basic medical training, but nothing specific. They're also super busy right now on account of, and then he like catches himself, and then goes, other matters, but I could maybe spare one. I do have a mage. He doesn't really heal, but he does know magic. Maybe he could help. I could get him, but it's another 6 to 8 hours to the capital. You're probably not getting there until the dead of night at this point at a normal pace. I don't know if anything would even be open if you got there.
I don't think it's necessary for immediate medical attention. I'm sorry about all of the other officers being tied up. What's going on?
And then he looks over at Abigail again, and she like raises an eyebrow, and then walks up next to you, and goes, "Yeah, what's going on?" And then he kind of does like the embarrassed, like puts his pointer fingers thing together, and is like, well, you see, and he kind of like he's stumbling over his words, and he goes, there may be a rat issue in the fort that
Rat
seemingly
issue.
came out of nowhere, and
I think I'm gonna sleep outside.
and they may or may not have spread a disease to hundreds of the soldiers.
What?
I turn to everybody
What
and I'm
now?
like, I don't know if I want to stay in the barracks, guys.
I'm sleeping outside.
think we're good sleeping outside.
I'm gonna sleep.
And then
I was more
he-
comfortable in the woods anyways. I'm gonna sleep
I'm
He
outside.
holds his
sleeping in
hands
the
up.
woods.
He holds his hands up and he goes, not like that. They're all quarantined in a wing. It's that all the soldiers I send to clean up the rats, they get bit, and then they get sick, they're not getting better. They're just staying sick, which is not typically how sick works. Typically, you get over it. They just aren't. I asked for disease specialists from the capital. They have not shown up because a reason, I'm sure. But I have stopped sending soldiers down there. We identified that they're in the basement somewhere. But every time I send people down there, they kill a couple, and then they get sick, but then there's just more rats. I don't know where they're coming from.
Question.
Answer.
But this is a question as my character to DM.
Oh, yeah.
Since I am from where I am from, would I have any experience and or knowledge and or just knowing of rats? Because I feel like I would.
Oh,
know how to
oh yeah. I mean, you absolutely know that rats can carry multitudes of diseases, both themselves and also that rats have bugs and fleas on them, and
Yes.
that those bug bites can also spread diseases. This world doesn't have the plague, a bubonic equivalent, but you do know that fleas exist. Fleas and ticks carry diseases. You, in all your knowledge, have almost always known diseases that come from rat and tick and flea bites. If you're a healthy enough individual, yeah, it sucks, but death is super rare and typically you get over it. If there's a ton of soldiers and none of them have gotten better and they've only got a couple bites, that is rare. It's certainly uncharacteristic in your experience.
When would you say this started happening?
Like 2 weeks ago, give or take.
2 weeks ago. And the infestation has just gotten bigger.
That's the thing. It hasn't. They're only in the lower levels, and they just are in the lower levels. They're not working up. They haven't raided the mess hall on the first floor. It's just storage. Weapons, armor, cleaning equipment, for weapons and armor polish, surplus goods. I mean, there might be some grain and stuff stashed. If they get into it, but certainly not. That's not where the majority of the food is kept. The majority of the food is kept on the first floor in the supply room for the mess hall. And the mess hall, I have it inspected hourly, and we've never seen a single rat on the first floor. They're acting weird as rats, and the diseases are also weird. That's why I asked for help, and the help didn't show up. So we've just been kind of handling it, but I am a soldier, and I don't do rats.
What are the symptoms?
Your generic disease symptoms, I guess. I mean, high fever, but not deadly high, coughing, dry throat. People who get it worse typically cough up a little bit of blood, but I think that's more irritation than the disease. Runny nose. The big thing is just weakness. Too much weakness enough that they can't wear their armor. They can barely stand while wearing clothes. It's just any amount of weight is too much for them to bear, that they become bedridden.
Has anyone reported that the rats seem a little strange in any way? They look or sound or anything weird?
Not that's been reported, but I also don't know how knowledgeable the soldiers I've sent are at rats. At first, it was just rats, and we get rats all the time. This is a building, so we just kill them, and we look for holes in the wall or whatever. We seal them up, and we're done. So I've just been sending the regular privates down as part of their daily duties to just kill rats. They didn't say they noticed anything particularly different.
Are there any connectors to sewers or other tunnels down there, or is it entirely enclosed off?
As far as I know, as far as the fort was designed, that basement is entirely closed off. All of the plumbing doesn't exist, but all of the septic escapades are all buckets and shootways, and everything leads typically to the moat where it's naturally filtered out and broken down.
And you said you had mages on your staff, right? Have you sent them to maybe inspect to see if there's something else amiss besides just rats and disease, if the soldiers aren't getting better?
I asked him, but he said, and I quote, "I'd rather die than a wizard of my talents be sent to kill rats," and then went back to what he was doing.
Okay, well, he can go fuck himself, I guess.
Officially, I cannot concur with that statement. And then he doesn't say anything
I kind of
else.
look to Brontes and I'm like, do you think you could maybe detect magic if we get you down there safely to see if anything else is going on?
I also have detect magic too, so if you're not comfortable
suppose I
doing
could.
I mean, if you want to. I mean, we're technically lodging here for free on our way to the capital. But
He kind of cuts you.
sick,
Yeah, he kind of cuts you off and goes like, "Wait, you think these are magic rats? Isn't that kind of not possible? Like, who's ever heard of a magic rat? That sounds dumb."
Well,
who's heard of diseases that don't go away with rest? Well,
I don't know, a doctor probably.
probably.
I kill orcs. No offense. That's all I do.
Offense taken.
I don't
well,
care.
we can't rule out any of these factors just because it sounds implausible. And I don't like the sound of your privates and soldiers laying sick and not getting better. There has to be something we can do.
Okay,
So-
I don't mind if. In fact, you know what? Here, I was gonna do this, but you guys seem like upstanding citizens, and it makes my job easier. And he pulls out another piece of paper from like a stack of missives, and then he like quickly scribbles up on it, and it looks like it was framed as a, not a wanted poster, but like a attention, work needed type thing for people walking through the throughway, of like, rats in the thing, need killing, speak to Melinda about location, reward, and then there's a little list of rewards that he was going to publish that says 1 copper per intact rat body brought to quest giver. And he goes, "I was just gonna hire the first person who seemed interested in making a little bit of money. I don't mind if you guys want to investigate. The offer stands. The lodgings are free regardless, but you will be paid 1 copper per rat that you find, and I'm willing to pay extra if you find anything magical or untoward or strange, based on how important it is, and we can work that out when we get there."
I have one more question. Oh, sorry. You go first.
Oh no, and then that's like he holds it forward. He pushes it forward for you to like take if you want to take it, or he could leave it on the desk because you're gonna come back here. But he offers it to you.
Well, I just have one more question. Were the rats like going after people, or did you just start sending people down there to kill them?
We send soldiers down there pretty frequently to prevent like rats and bugs and stuff from becoming an issue, because we know that they'll spread throughout the fort, and we know that they carry disease, and we know that they can get into the food supplies, and if ever we were subject to a siege and our food supplies were infected with rats or bugs, it would almost certainly mean the fort falling, and which would then of course lead to the capital city falling. I take this very seriously. So almost every 2 or 3 days I send patrols down specifically to look for rats. It's just that the last series of patrols over the last 2 or so weeks, they keep finding rats, they kill them, and then they get sick, and then 2 or 3 days later, we go down to check to make sure all the rats are gone, and then there's just more rats.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cycle repeats.
I grab the paper.
And before I kind of hold out a hand to Sai, and I'm like, 6 copper per rat.
Okay, well, you don't have to help if you don't want to.
It's not helping. We're risking our lives. 1 or 2 rat bites, and we're all bedridden, and we have a mission to go to the capital at this
I'm
time.
down there to kill them. Just because I'm taking the piece of paper doesn't mean we're accepting the mission.
Yeah,
He's just trying to negotiate and get us more.
All right, I don't want it anymore. Turn around and walk away.
The guy goes, I kind of assumed that you taking the paper was accepting the mission. Are you not doing this? I don't mind if you don't do this. You're not forced to. I just need to know.
I mean, it's just more of a hazard pay. I'd like to help the soldiers out for sure, but at the same time, we're also risking essentially like our health and everything like that for these rats, especially if they're continuing to pop up, and 1 or 2 bites is enough to leave people bedridden for weeks.
We just fought this.
We just want to try and get this whole.
He kind of thinks about it, and you could see him doing math in his head of like conversions of like, okay, well, I had X amount of budget to contract this out. That's 6 times my budget. There are typically a lot of rats, which means a lot of money. Do I think I'll have enough if I do 6 times what I was going to pay? And you kind of see him. Yeah, and he's kind of thinking, he's like, but I got a lot of sick guys, and it's going to take medicine to cure them, but then if they're cured, then there's no more rats, they won't get sick again. And then he says 3 copper. Highest I can go.
I'll take it.
You do not know how to go.
I kind of looked at everybody else. Everybody else cool with that?
Yep.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Then he goes, is that something you wanted to do right away, tomorrow morning? What are you thinking? Tonight?
I kind of looked at everybody. I'm okay, but we did just have a long journey. Does anybody need some bed rest?
I'm good. What are you saying?
I think we need to ask Abigail when she wanted to leave.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Abigail.
Oh, she'll say I was planning. It's dangerous to travel at night. I was planning at leaving first the sign of dawn. I was just gonna relax. So if you guys want to go help him out, go for it. Strats.
Guys, can we just maybe dedicate a little bit of time for this because we also need to get some rest in. I think we all been taxed, so we could maybe spend a couple hours trying to figure this out, and then let's make sure we have enough time to get a good night's sleep in and restore ourselves.
Question for the DM.
No, I think that was the smartest thing you've
What's
said
up?
this whole time, Onyx.
If we did a short rest, do I recover? What would I recover spell slot wise?
Spell slot wise, you don't get anything unless you used
Not
Arcane
even
Recovery.
with Arcane Recovery.
If you used Arcane Recovery, then you get half of your wizard level rounded up. So so you can either get 1 2 or 2 1s, depending on what you were missing.
Okay.
And you did short rest back then. So you can have that. And he will say, well, he won't say it, I'll say it, I'm the DM. It is about 4-ish o'clock after your travel. You know that the way rest works, since you don't need like a watch period, because you're presumably going to be either in this barrack or near a military installation, it's probably fairly safe. You only need 6 to 8 hours to do a long rest, more towards 8. So long as you go to bed by, I don't know, 10 o'clock, and then just wake up, and then when you wake up at 6 or 7 a.m., and then you could pack up the wagon and leave. So you think you have like 6 or 7 hours of investigation, let's call it, without having to worry about gathering exhaustion from not resting.
I'd say 4 o'clock in the evening. It gives us plenty of time to look into the rats before we actually take a rest.
Gonna stop you right there. Mage Hand, what are you doing with it?
I was just looking at something and
I need to know if you're casting it or if you misclicked.
My guess is he misclicked.
Okay, that is fine.
No, I literally misclicked it.
we were just trying to click information to read something on our end.
Okay,
He had a question about it, and I was trying to be helpful.
If you do that, just say misclick, because things were gonna happen. Because if you're in the middle of a meeting with like a high-ranking general, and all of a sudden Cole is like Alacius, and he just starts casting a spell, he's gonna kill you or attempt to. He doesn't like that. So say misclick.
Yeah, you guys were in the middle of dialogue. We just started reading it on our own.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, in that case, that doesn't happen. The 4 o'clock thing, and then he goes, and you see him cross out on the paper 1 copper, write 3. Making it like official, and then initialing next to it to show that he's the one who made the change. And then he's like, whenever you're ready, Melinda can show you where we've been having the issue. And then you hear a annoyed sigh at that from behind you.
I feel like Melinda does a lot for this fort, and I say that out loud.
She's a good girl. And then you hear behind you like a foot stomp, and she goes, "Dad."
Oh.
That's some more.
I mean, sir.
Womp womp.
Fair enough. I
Looks to
kind of
suck.
Awkward.
turn to Abigail and I'm like, would you mind watching her
Alabama.
while we... I don't really want to take her into a rat-infested basement.
Abigail looks at you and goes, that's probably a pretty smart. Yeah, I'll take her. And then
I go,
and
thank
I'll
you.
take the papoose.
I hand her the papoose.
she attempts to put it
Does
on, and it is
Abigail
like
put the
4
papoose
sizes
on?
too small. So it doesn't
It fits
it
your
doesn't
finger.
even remotely fit. So she basically has like she's holding the 2 shoulder handles of the papoose like you would hold like a dog leash, and the kid is just kind of hanging there.
I
So
kind
she's
of
got
like
a
help
kid
her
purse. It's a
adjust into a
swing!
comfortable position.
Yeah.
She's got a kid's purse.
It looks like this kid looks like she is holding a handbag. She is a very
Oh
large
my
woman, and
gosh.
this kid is very small.
That's hilarious.
How tall is Abigail, by the way? Can I get a read
9
on that?
feet.
How tall is Abigail?
Of course
Yeah,
you
Like
remember
9
that.
feet.
Oh yeah, she's
9
like
feet.
8 or 9
9 to 10
foot.
feet.
She is.
Oh,
I
so
think.
she's
Yeah.
She's
What
only
I-
a foot taller than me.
Well, no, I think I described her as what did I say? She was like 2 or 3 heads taller
9
than the
to 10.
tallest person in the party.
Oh, so
so-
she's like...
No.
Or not 10.
She is a size large creature, so I think she takes up a 10 foot by 10 foot combat square. So I think that means she has to be a minimum of 9, give or take. Like with the armor, she obviously looks bigger. So
Fair enough.
Bulking season.
if you could convince her to take her clothes off and really look at her, go for it. But I wouldn't suggest
I am
it.
all set, buddy.
I don't have
Can
any
I roll
art. I don't have any
persuade?
art for that, so use
Oh.
your brain.
Imagination.
But yeah, Abigail
Little
says that
rainbow.
Abigail says that she will take the kid, and that she is going to. She has a room, because she's in here through so much, and she's high ranking. She has like an officer's quarters. That's just where she's going to be if something crazy happens, like the sky starts falling. Like, come get her. Otherwise, she's going to bed because she's had a long day.
Fair enough.
You-
And just a question for Ophis, the DM. Does our cart ride over count as the short rest because we didn't do anything strenuous?
No,
for that
you
whole
took
time?
you took a short rest after your visions, and
Okay,
then you got on the
perfect.
cart. I mean, I don't have a problem if you want to say you took 2 consecutive short rests, but you all pretty much are at full health anyway, and you don't.
No,
get
just
anything
wondering
back.
for spell slots for Brontes.
Oh yeah. He got his. He only gets 1 arcane restoration a day. So
Gotcha.
Sorry, I don't even know where I hit that.
yeah, a mage hand doesn't
Oh,
even
that's
do
for that.
damage. Would you give it a knife?
No,
Gotcha,
that
bitch.
was Onyx. I
Question, can
accidentally
we
hit
give Mage
piercing
Hand a knife?
damage.
Cole can.
So wait, if we took a short rest, does that do anything to my lay on hands?
No, you get that back on long rest, but you get your.
Okay.
Technically, you didn't have it, so you don't get it back. You get it for the first time, but your level 3 ability for your whatever it's called, not the divine sense, the other thing, your oath thingy ability, you technically get that, so you have that now. Either the vow of enmity or the other one that I put in your sheet. That comes back on
Okay.
short or long rest. But yeah, your
Figure
spell
what
slots and
out.
stuff, they say the same.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you guys are all ready, Melinda will start
Yeah.
to lead you towards the basement.
Ophis, real quick.
Yeah.
So if Mage Hand,
Yes.
does that what does that work as far as spell slot? Like
It's a cantrip. You can
use
cast
it
it.
once.
You can cast it infinite number of times per day.
Perfect.
Granted, it's a cantrip, so it can't do a ton, and it has 1 health and like no armor, so it can be destroyed extremely easily. But there is no penalty to using it, other than the action that it takes to cast.
Okay.
And also, you can only have 1 per casting. So even though it's not
I
a
gotcha.
concentration spell, you can only ever have 1 at a time. You cannot make 10,000 hands and choke someone to death.
Understood.
As funny as that would be.
Not even if you upcast it.
You're gonna upcast the
Oh,
cantrip.
you're
Yeah.
not up. You can't upcast the cantrip.
No, I
Yeah,
cast
no.
Mage Hand as a level 9 spell, and I cast 1 giant hand, and I crush the enemy. Okay.
I like that idea.
Melinda
I feel like
leads
that
you
should be possible.
to the basement. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
As we're
Sex
walking,
time.
I'm just telling everybody we need to be careful because we cannot afford to get bitten.
Make sure Onyx gets bitten first. Got it.
Make sure Brontes
I snicker
Has an
at what Bronte
accident.
says.
got it.
Okay.
He's gonna go on a nice long vacation.
Is everyone currently looking at the basement map?
Yes,
yeah,
I hear the organ in the background.
Okay. She leads you to a cellar. You walk down the cellar from the right side of the room you're in, and you enter the room where you are standing. She calls up from the top of the cellar and goes, "That's where the rats are. Go crazy. I don't do rats," and then closes the door at the top of the cellar.
Oh well,
Why
that's
is that
calm.
not going away?
Fair enough, I
So-
guess.
I am.
You do not hear her lock
'cause
it,
I-
by the way. It's
dang
just
it.
she's closing it so that the
Is-
rats don't come up.
Is there lights down here? Because I'm the only one that wouldn't be able to tell.
It is dimly lit. So like there is an occasional torch every now and then. You are in dim light mechanically.
Okay,
Dang
and
it, we should've
physically,
done this
where
in
are
the
we in
morning.
reference to the staircase versus where the tokens are?
Staircases are-
Okay, so do you see on the it's not a perfect battle map I made, I kind of threw it together. You see where it looks like a window in the room you're in on the right side wall?
Okay, here,
Imagine
Okay.
that's a stairwell. That's where you came in from.
got it. Perfect.
I
All
took
we
this map.
needed to know.
I took this map from Icewind Dale, one of my favorite one of my favorite official D&D adventures.
Right here, right?
Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
And then there's no door on the map, but in front of Onyx, like in front of that square, there is a door.
Wait,
we
in
just
front
gonna
of
start-
on it. Oh, so right
Yeah,
here.
right there, yeah.
Perfect. Is there a door over here onto a moat-looking thing, or no?
No, that's just a solid wall.
Okay, cool.
Now, also, this is all wood. Imagine it is stone. Everything is stone.
Fair enough.
Everything is stone. Okay.
Everything is stone. Like the door is a a stone brick entryway. The door itself is wooden, but all the structure of the basement is all stone.
Guys, before we get started, how long are we actually spending down here before we, decide to go sleepy sleeps?
Let's see how many we collect in an hour,
I feel
and then reconvene.
we can
Probably
spend
good
an hour
idea.
down here. I figure they say that this doesn't have any sewer exits or anything, but we can probably kill all the rats. See the end of
Well-
this if it's not too big. But if it goes somewhere else, then maybe that's worth mentioning that we found an entryway and we can stop then.
Hey, Addie,
Yeah.
do you have anything that you could possibly use to like speak with the rats?
So
I don't know how the
funny
whole
you say that.
weird thing is.
I was just thinking that this probably would be better done in the morning because I do, but I can't use it.
Well,
But we can't do anything in the morning because we're leaving.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. How about now?
I can totally I do have the ability to speak with animals. I'm my magic abilities are so exhausted right now.
Okay,
that
Cole,
I
so you walk through the door.
oh my God, Cole!
Ah!
Dumbass!
And I shot from the back. Don't you mean no?
Do-do-do-do-do.
Womp womp.
I am dumb. I hid Cole. That's not what I meant to do.
Well, no, you
It's a
made a
rat.
rat appear.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah, there's a rat.
I thought I
A
missed
wild
that.
Rattata appeared.
Cool. So you
Sure,
walk
it's
through that door, and you immediately lock eyes with a big rat. Like, this rat is probably putting New York subway rats and making them look anorexic. Like, this is a chunky, fat, mangy-looking rat, and it looks up at you immediately with these, like, beady black eyes, and it makes this, like, gross rat chittering noise, and then it rushes you.
Cole,
Great
It-
job.
I
does-
use KF Bolt.
Okay. If you
Just
kill
shoot
it with
the
this,
rat.
then the initiative doesn't happen. I'll let you roll it.
Okay, how do I do this? I forget.
You just I changed it, so you should be able to click Chaos Bolt, cast it as first level, and it should automatically pop up. You rolled a 1 plus 5, 2 plus 5, 7. You miss.
Fuck!
Can
was
I not
about
just
to
use a
ask if
short
I could
sword
cast
on this
guidance, but I
motherfucker?
think it's a little too late for that.
Guidance
we're gonna have to roll
only works
initiatives.
on checks, not attacks.
Oh damn it.
Cole, if you would like to attack with the short sword, you may. You do not get advantage or sneak attack because you're the first one in the room and it's jumping you. But I will not give you disadvantage for being surprised because I'm nice.
Oof.
A 9 does not hit.
Yikes.
Lovely.
Okay, so now are we rolling initiative?
You know, I thought you would kill it, so I didn't want to set up the initiative. But yeah, we are because no one killed it.
Damn it.
So yeah, everyone just roll
Where's the
initiative.
initiative again?
It's on the top of your sheet.
Did I do it?
Are we surprised?
No, I didn't do it.
No, I'm not that mean.
So I
Why
have
isn't it
advantage on
doing
this initiative roll.
Oh,
for my
of course.
draconic perception.
We are doing phenomenal, guys. Ron Cheese is the only one worth a damn right now.
God, this
Okay.
just
It's pretty
So
typical
how does
at this
adding
point.
the initiative with the perception work?
You roll the initiative and then tell me what the modifier is.
For the dragon perception, though? I don't know what that... Oh, I can roll twice. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Are you talking about for the advantage for initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just roll twice, take the highest. It's like an advantage for an attack.
Let me... How do I...
Did it just reset the order when she rolled again?
It did.
Help!
It did do that, but that's because I
I'm sorry.
clicked. I went. It kept your old initiative, so I went to clear it for the old initiatives, and it cleared all of them because it hates me. And I really don't know how this
Well,
initiative tracker works.
So are we all re-rolling our initiatives?
You know what? I'm such a nice guy. You all may re-roll initiatives.
I feel like you just mean
You're
less
welcome,
work for
guys.
yourself.
Thanks.
But let me just say this.
Oh my God,
music
wait, did I
is a
keep
Okay,
it
we're looking a
first one?
lot better now.
Did I keep the first one?
it's not that nice.
I want the 9, not the 2.
You rolled a 1.
This,
I want the
this
9,
is
not
like
the 2.
amazing. I like this battle music. This is a bomb.
Thank you.
Is this mono?
agree.
Is this, like, can we not? Can
Oh,
we
no,
play
this
this?
is-
Is this
agree.
legal?
This is by Blue Scorpion. Oh, this is Blue Scorpion by Kevin McSomething. It is in Roll20 as free music.
Oh hell yeah!
I
Kevin
looked through-
McSomething, you're the best.
I listened through their catalog line by line until I find a music that I like, and then I put it in a playlist of combat or ambiance.
Before we start this fight, can we pause really quickly so I can run to the bathroom?
Go for it. Though I think this fight will take about 6 seconds. So
Okay.
it is a rat.
You never know.
I
True
don't
enough.
trust us right now.
True
Hey,
enough.
we had this problem with manacles.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Don't give us too much faith.
Yeah.
Well, Calyx goes first anyway,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, Calyx.
Well, we don't know what the rat rolled.
I'll tell you right now, the rat didn't roll a 20. You can go. You're going first.
The rat didn't roll a 20.
The ra-
Okay, fair enough. Is it possible for me to? I can't move Cole against his will, right?
You
That's
cannot.
not
He
a
is.
thing.
It is technically allowed for you to walk through allied character spaces, but he is in a doorway. So I am gonna say that doorway and his token count as difficult terrain.
That's fair enough. I was just wondering if
What
I
does
could
that
like.
mean?
Double movement to get through. So instead of 5 feet, it's 10
Oh.
feet.
Okay, so this would be 5, 10, 15, right? Because going in front of Onyx, through Cole, next to Cole,
Yes.
and then 15. So I'm just gonna finish out 20 here in case somebody else wants to go through, and I'm gonna swing at it with my longsword.
Go for it.
Nighty night.
Roll damage.
Please tell me.
That would be. I don't have anything up. 9.
Hey, it has 3 health. It dies.
I go right for the head.
Bruh.
I could have just kicked the damn thing. I could have hawk two-ed that thing to death.
Why didn't you?
I'm a little dry. I had a
He was
saltine.
surprised.
I'm
It
just gonna
startled
pick
him.
up the.
Here's your next short.
Is that actually like a bed in the room or no?
That's that is a. It looks like a. It's not a bed per se. Think of it like a mat, like a cloth mat with extra blankets and like how do you say, like extra linens for the not dormitory. What do you call it? Barracks. It's like extra linens.
Gotcha. So I'm kind of gonna grab one of those and put the rat head in it because I'm not gonna put a dismembered rat head into my bag.
Fair enough. Fair
How
enough.
the hell did 9 not kill attack a freaking rat?
Oh, because its AC is 10.
Oh my God.
The average AC of most creatures is 10 plus dexterity.
This
It's
happens
is
to
less
Cole a
than
lot.
10, but it has a dex. So
I think this happens to Cole a lot
It
about
does.
missing things.
I have a question. Does anybody have like detect magic to see if there's any weird shit going on down here, like with these rats and
I
stuff?
can ritual cast detect magic if you
Do
want
it.
to take like an hour.
Because we're outside of
Oh,
combat now, right?
You
Well, I don't want it to take an hour.
as far as you know, you're outside of combat.
Isn't it?
Because
isn't
if
the
we're
ritual
rolling in
cast an
initiative
hour?
order,
No, the initiative is you can tell me what your actions are. Your actions are still actions. The rat made a loud noise. If there are other rats, they might be moving. You cannot see them because you're in a room with a closed door. That is what is currently happening.
Can I investigate the room we first walked into and make sure there's nothing in there before we move on to the next one?
In the one where you came down off the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll investigation.
That might not be good. Yeah, that's about
2.
right. Okay.
You do not notice anything.
It's a room.
It is a room. In fact, you're not 100% certain. It might not be.
And I
Might be in the Matrix.
roll an investigation in the room that everyone is in.
You may roll investigation.
It's gonna be like a nat 20.
No, no, it was
There is
my
a
God.
there is a blood puddle that
Bronte's actually rolled
yeah.
bad?
there is a blood puddle that would imply that something had its head cut off in here, but you're not sure what.
rolling pretty well,
I hate this.
except for what it matters. For.
Sorry, are you also rolling to investigate the room that Bronte's rolled?
I'm inspecting the rat.
Inspecting the rat?
Mm-hmm.
11? It is a rat. It is well fed. Its fur is mangy and unmanaged, and it is greasy, like a greasy rat fur. And it has a couple of scars on its tail and like its paws. That was probably infighting with other rats, but other than that, it just appears to be a very large, very fat, well-fed rat that was startled by a man walking into the room, and then in a fight or flight, chose fight and lost.
Okay,
The rats run
Guys.
away, so I don't know what's wrong with these ones.
guys, Brontes, you said you could do detect magic. Let's do that, and then keep exploring and try and kill more rats, so we can finish this up, get paid, and get to sleep.
He did say his detect magic
Ophis,
was a ritual and would
what's
take
the
him an hour.
what's the ritual time
Oh,
for
it takes
casting?
an hour.
It takes an hour.
I just used
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, it takes 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Not an hour.
Oh, it's a
Oh.
10-minute ritual cast.
Yeah.
It.
He does that while we investigate the rest of the basement.
You're gonna leave him alone in the room?
I'll stay
I'm
with
gonna-
him. You
I'll-
guys go.
Yeah, I guess I'll stay too.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna split up again, guys.
Yes.
It's a
So
I
who's
feel
going
like
with
it's a
me and
small
Cole?
enough
I'll take
space
the big
for
guys.
help if you need
With
it.
Cole.
Well, in that case, I'm
And
gonna move
Onyx.
my character token over here, and I'm gonna say I'm
Okay.
gonna sit on the floor with my
You
legs
two
crossed with the staff
Also, we
over
can
my
close
lap.
this door again behind us.
Concentrate.
We know it's closed right now. We'll reclose it.
Ophis,
I'm
do
gonna
we?
suggest this time that you sneak through the door and not just do what you did last time.
First off, Ophis,
Mhm.
do we hear anything on the other side of the door?
Perception check.
Oh.
Everybody or just him?
The person
Oh,
who is listening to see, the one person who he's the one who asked, so I'm gonna say it's him.
Perception check.
You were
Yes.
perception check
Yeah.
against the door.
We all need to.
Fuck!
You hear nothing. There is a silent basement before you.
And I push him out of the way and I listen.
Okay, now we're fishing for rolls here.
I
aren't
would
we?
love to see her push me out of the way.
I
would
literally can I do a strength check to shove him out of the way?
Sure.
Oh please.
Do it.
Please.
Contested. It's gonna be a contested athletics. So both of you roll athletics. The higher one wins. This will be funny.
If I get bounced.
Nice.
Okay. So
Guys, I don't hear anything.
you attempt to shove him and bounce off.
I'm pretty sure I'm the one in front of the door. Can I roll a perception?
I don't know. I feel like we're roll fishing now because you saw that he rolled
Ataraxia
low.
fights back a laugh as she watches.
Also, all right, I want to walk through the
Side
door, but
just
I get yelled
bounce
at by
off
the
of
whole
Onyx.
freaking group.
told you to be
Okay.
sneaky.
But I'm a nice guy.
I'm still sitting on
Hold
the floor
it back
trying
up
not
here.
to break concentration, watching a small
Yeah.
tiefling bounce off of a larger
Yeah.
tiefling.
I'm a nice enough guy. Cole, if you would like to roll perception, you can. But after that, no more perception rolls. You can't roll 6 perception rolls every time you see someone roll a 3.
That's fair.
You hear nothing. There is an empty basement before you.
Okay,
I
I said Onyx just walk through the door.
I'm gonna walk through the door.
Okay, you walk through the door.
Whatever.
Boom.
Stop.
I'm gonna military follow him. Damn it. Go beat me to it.
Well, I can't help you. I'm stuck.
Hold on, change.
Wait, I
You
thought
can try to
someone was
push me
saying
out of the
behind
way
me,
if you really
Bronte.
want to.
Oh, hey, that's a shit ton of rats.
Hey, 2 swarms of rats were on the other side of the door after hearing their ally scream for aid, but could not open the door because they are rats, and will attack the first thing they see. You are the
I
first
cast
thing that both of you see.
thaumaturgy.
You cast
What am I rolling
thaumaturgy?
here?
Yeah, to intimidate the rats to go away.
Okay, well, the rats are currently performing a prepared action, so they will both be attacking Onyx before you do that, but you can do that after the attack. Once the attack is completed, the initiative order will resume. We keep the order that we have.
Sorry, I forgot that we did that.
Here,
I don't even know what the initiative order is.
It's
Not you.
it's-
To the left of the screen, of the map, I should say.
I just added rat, and then they are going to each make a bite with.
Oh.
The swarm has max HP, so you get 2 of these. They have advantage because it's a surprise attack. Do any
You're
of those
smart.
numbers hit you?
He means
what-
a 9, 13, 9, or 10.
On my armor class?
Yep.
Yes.
No, my armor class is an 18.
Cool. So you watch as about
They
average
bounce
number.
off like the other tiefling did.
Approximately it's 3d6. It's 3d6 rats per swarm. So let's say 24 New York subway rats jump you from either side and crawl in your armor and all try to bite you, and none of them succeeded biting you because your armor is too thick, and you're just like, wow, this is really annoying. Anyway, that was their turn. That was their surprise attack. That didn't work. Now it is the initiative. We start at the beginning, so technically it is Calyx again.
So I'm guessing Cole is kind of.
He is once
I don't wanna say
again
in the way,
doorway.
but he.
Yeah, once again
Okay,
in the
is
doorway.
this. Did the door open to the left or to the right? Or towards us?
It opens out. So out to
Okay.
the right. So the hinge is on the right side, and then it opens out
Okay.
to the right.
Does it open fully and flat, or does it stay half open?
It's fully and flat. The
Okay,
door
I
is.
asked, like,
yeah.
would I be able to hit a rat with a hand axe, like a group of rats?
The rat would have 3/4 cover from the door frame, but you could hit them.
Hmm.
Can't you just move forward?
I can't
That is
because
right.
Cole is there.
And also, you are there.
Like, and I can't move through the rat enemy.
You can just pull Cole out of the way.
I asked that before, and I was informed no, I could not.
No, that would. I mean, you
But
could
if-
perform the shove action. That would shove him 5 feet forward and use your action, but he cannot
No.
end his turn in another player's
Yeah,
space. So
I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Can Calyx ask Cole to move politely?
he can,
It's-
but you can't do it on his turn. So you would have to wait for
Shoot.
your turn to then move.
Yeah. So I am going to. I guess I'm going to go against the 3/4 cover and throw a hand axe.
Okay.
At the rat pile on the left, because you said the right was on undercover, right? Or they both are.
They're
'cause
they're
it's a
both
doorway,
they're
and I'm
both
trying to
'cause,
throw
yeah
around
it's
Cole.
yeah they're both on the either side of the doorway. They're like a swarm. They're a mass of like swarming rats. So you can see like a couple rats at any given moment, but the main body of the swarm is obscured.
Okay. So I'm gonna yell Onyx, and I'm gonna yeet my axe at the rat group on the left. Doop. Wait. Oh, it went twice.
Oh.
Take the
Oh.
first one because it went twice.
Well, the first one does not hit. 7 does not hit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. There's
You
an
watch
axe
as
right
you watch as the handle of the axe like hits a rat on the head, and it gets like stars over its eyes, and then it kind of shakes it off and makes like a weird face, and then goes back to swarming.
Well, I did all I could.
I've done all I can do.
Also, got Ophis,
Mhm.
question. This has a 2 here. Do I get the 9 that I originally rolled, or am I stuck with the 2?
It's the same initiative order we went with for the first rat, so you have the 2.
You got it too.
Aww.
Hey, listen, everyone else got better rolls. I'm trying to be nice here. I can't give everybody everything. Okay,
I know.
Thank you, Ophis.
it is now Cole's turn.
Un momento, por favor.
Yeah, you are in the same position where you are in the door frame, so the rats would only have half cover, not 3/4, but they are still like hard to reach because you have Onyx in the way and the door frame itself, because you're like in the middle of the door frame of this
Which means
stone door
I
frame.
can't even.
Yeah, you can. Onyx cannot move. He is pinned by 2 swarms of rats.
I can do this.
Oh shit. No,
Um,
too late. My turn's over.
I'm just asking a question to brother real quick in
Okay.
IRL.
I think you can, as long as that doesn't hit me. I think you can, though.
All right. Oh, this is gonna be a little above board.
Yeah.
Magic missile. Is that something I can do from
Yeah,
here, and it's
absolutely.
gonna be productive?
Magic missiles automatically hit their target regardless of positioning, so long as they're within range. They're heat-seeking missiles. They divine a path to your
Cool.
target. So you
They
designate
have a
the target.
120-foot radius.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna move real quick, so that way Calix can get through, or anybody can get through,
You can't move.
or I can't move, right?
You
Or-
can
'cause
move through Kalik, like you can move diagonally back in front of where Ataraxia is.
in
That would
front
be
of
a
Ataraxia.
5-foot movement. But just understand, you would be attacking the rats with half cover. If you walk away, they both get opportunity attacks against you at half cover. Because you're within 5 feet of each other mechanically. So you need to
Okay.
disengage if that
All
factors
right.
into
You know,
your plan.
screw it. We're just gonna watch a magic missile then.
Okay. What you get, that's at level 1, right? Because I think you only have level 1 slots.
Yeah, he has 2 level 1 slots.
Okay, in that case, you get 3 darts. Designate your targets. How many of each dart are going on which, or are you dumping them all into one?
If I dump them all onto a pile.
Yeah,
With that,
the swarm is an entity. You target the entity, and then I describe what happens. So it's like 3d6
Yep.
bodies, but you would hit. You would always hit regardless of that.
You know what? I'm gonna do 2 on the right side bunch and 1 on the left side bunch.
Okay, roll 2d4, and then 1d4, or just click it 3 times, and the first 2 will go to the 2 on the right.
2d4.
So 10. And
And then a 2.
and then it would be the first one, so 3, because it's 1d4 plus 1 per dart. So the first one would be 4 plus 4 plus 2, because there's 2 darts, so 10 damage. And then the one on the left would take 2 plus 1, so 3 damage. And they automatically hit. So you watch as these magic darts shoot out, and then Cole can describe what it looks like, because up till this point, none of you knew he could do magic.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said Cole can describe. Cole's never used magic before, so he can describe what it looks like, because no one would have ever seen him do this.
Holy shit, that was really cool. I didn't know I could do that.
You didn't know? Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
I haven't
I just said
done
you
it
didn't know and I
before.
just stopped talking.
It's my first time. Be gentle with the comments.
Okay, that is your action.
yeah.
Do you have a bonus action?
Wait, can you move after your action without it?
Yes, you can move.
Again,
Well,
you
I'm-
invite opportunity attacks because
Yeah.
you didn't disengage.
But just because you're a new player, I will remind you, you are a rogue. You could cunning action, so bonus action, disengage, movement action,
That's what
leave,
I
and
was
then they
thinking.
couldn't do that.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay, in that case, you can move anywhere within 30 feet of the room that isn't forward, and then we'll say that you bonus action, therefore you will not be getting attacked. Okay, you're moving there.
What is it called for future reference so I can write it down?
Cunning action.
Cunning action.
So yeah,
You
as
should
a
have multiple cunning actions,
Yeah.
not just.
you have dash, disengage, and dodge.
Dodge, stuff. What is it? Dodge, dip, duck, dodge,
Dive and
dodge.
Dodge, dick, duck, dive, and dodge.
If you can't dodge a swarm of rats, you can dodge a ball.
You know, words to live by.
And Ophis, just real quick, above board. Magic missile. What is that? Long rest to recover that, or is it?
Yeah,
like-
your spell slots are long rest. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, you should have 2 level 1s, right?
Yeah, you have
I
one
do.
more
Yeah,
spell.
yep,
yeah.
I do.
Okay, cool.
In that case,
Okay.
that is your turn. It is now Bronte's turn. You are currently sitting on the floor, attempting to ritual cast a spell, and that has been interrupted. You could attempt to continue, but there's currently a fight happening in front of you.
Do I have to participate in the fight?
You can continue your ritual, but each combat round is 6 seconds, and you need to take 10 minutes. So, it's up to you. You
How
can
long have we
continue.
It's
already
gonna take you a
spent?
long time to get
That's
there.
about 600 rounds, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, but
You'd
how
be
long
over
have we
that.
already spent on
I
it?
guess, does it require any actions to get up off the floor?
It takes half your movement to get up from prone, so it would take 15 feet.
I suppose I'll get up and then move next to Ataraxia.
Okay. You
Then
can,
I
from where
will-
you are, you can see the swarms of rats. The same thing that applies to Calyx applies to you. Anything that you do that would require an attack roll, the rats will have 3/4 cover. Which, for those of you at
Bas-
home, means they get a +5 to their armor class.
With
Wait,
Weave Breaker, would I ignore with certain rolls
You would.
some of that?
You would. Because you have Arcane Sniper, which bypasses half and 3/4 cover when casting a spell.
Okay. Can I do Magic Missile through Weave Breaker at a level 2?
You can, but I mean, Magic Missile would bypass the cover anyway because they're magic missiles.
Yeah.
Things that make an attack roll, so like a firebolt, would ignore the cover. The missile you can cast a 2nd level missile though.
I feel like I would rather do the Firebolt at one of the swarms.
Okay. Which are you targeting, the swarm on the left or the swarm on the right?
I'll do the swarm on the left.
On the left. Okay. Roll attack. That is Acid Splash.
I clicked Firebolt. I do not know why it went with Acid Splash.
Okay, that's weird.
I
Roll.
will try.
Just roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, just click it
roll.
again. Maybe it bugged. Okay. Every
No,
spell is
that's-
Acid
nope.
Splash. Only Acid
Okay.
Splash. Okay, in that case, roll a 1d20 plus 6. That is, I'm pretty sure your attack and your spellcasting mod.
1d20, and then it's +6.
So,
it would
so 12.
Well,
12. Their ace, they do not get the +5, so that does hit. So now you roll 1d10 for
1d10.
fire damage. 2. So 2 fire damage, the one on the left.
Do we have health bars for these swarms?
You should, but something tells me I forgot to make them visible. I did.
on a scale of 1 to 24, how is their health?
About that good.
These some strong ass rats.
Well, it's you're
a
every
swarm.
time you do any
There's a
amount of
swarm of them.
anytime you do any amount of damage, you're killing like 2 or 3 rats. But each swarm of rats is a dozen plus rats. So reducing their health to 0 means you've killed all the rats in the swarm. And you
Gonna be a
think,
lot of chopping.
yeah, there's a lot of rats.
I'm just curious, why can't Onyx and Calyx just like curb stomp them with their feetsies?
That's one rat at a time.
Well, they can.
It is
That's called
definitely not.
that's called
You're
a
a big motherfucker.
that's called a melee attack, an improvised melee attack. But neither of them are proficient in that, so they could try. But their weapons are better.
What if Onyx just trips and falls on the swarm?
Whoa! Onyx is more coordinated than I am in real life.
Hey, if Onyx trips and falls into the swarm of rats, they all get to attack him at advantage because he's prone. So maybe don't do that.
But what if he falls on him and crushes them all?
He won't. Ataraxia, it's your turn.
He won't.
Okay.
In real life, that would be a problem.
I feel like the only thing I can really accomplish here is maybe Thorn Whip, but then that would pull I don't know how many rats closer to me.
I will tell you, mechanically, because it is a swarm, it is immune to being knocked prone or having its position changed. Like, you can't Thorn Whip one rat and pull the swarm. It mechanically, the character sheet says it can't do that. So you would know that you can't Thorn Whip a swarm of creatures. You would still do the damage of Thorn Whip, but you would lose the bonus effect of moving it.
Okay, so then my next thing would be if I could get closer to them, I could bonk them with a quarterstaff.
You could.
Just
The Thunderwave scroll would affect party members too, I assume. Not that. I'm not a lot of help right now. I don't have any spell slots left, so. I don't. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna approach. Can I even approach with all these people?
Yeah, the door frame that Cole walked out of is now open. You could walk into the door frame and then attack either of the rat swarms. But the same thing applies if you stepped away, then they would both get to attack you.
Yeah, they're gonna attack me either way. Yeah, alright, I'll do it. I don't want to just like waste my fucking turn. I'm gonna use the quarterstaff on the ones on the left.
Are you hitting them with the regular quarterstaff, or are you using Shillelagh?
What the fuck does that mean?
Why don't you have a bonus action Shillelagh to make the quarterstaff magical? I might be misremembering your sheet. I thought you had Shillelagh.
I have no idea. Oh, I just realized I think I have a short sword. It's like at the bottom of my list of oh, it's just a proficiency. I don't have one.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, you are a druid. You can't use metal equipment.
Stupidest rule in D&D.
I agree, but we're playing
I'm
5e.
I'm proficient in metal swords, but I can't use them.
There are wooden
Correct.
equivalents to short swords in 5e if you want to buy one.
Which is basically a quarterstaff.
Yes, the damage is the same.
How do I know? How do I use Shillelagh versus?
So Shillelagh just kind of like a coating on your weapon. You can think of it that way. So if you cast it, there's no like save or anything like that. You kind of say it because it is a bonus action. I think it's a cantrip.
It is a cantrip.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
might be misremembering.
I know I don't have that under my list of cantrips.
That's fine. Then maybe you don't have
mods for critical ranges.
Yeah, that's fine. Though it's the same either way. It doesn't affect the damage roll, so you could just roll with quarterstaff.
If it'll let me. There we go.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Finally.
Okay.
That's a crit.
It is of all things with a quarterstaff. So you walk over.
Massive bonk.
And just remind me, you were attacking the one on the left or the one on the right?
Left.
Left. Okay, so you attack the one on the left.
Whichever one needs more damage.
Yeah, right. You attack the one on the
left.
left, and you're like, "That's it. I've had it with these rats. They're very annoying." And then you go to bonk, and you two-hand it. You bring it over your head, and you slam down this quarterstaff, and you absolutely obliterate like a rat. And you watch as all the other rats like scatter and sacrificial lamb that one rat, as you realize that the swarms have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So it takes half damage. So it takes 2.5 damage rounded down. So it takes 2 damage.
I'm jumping out of a fucking window.
We're in a basement. Good
yeah.
luck.
So
They're not big enough.
slashing and piercing damage it's resistant to?
Yeah, the swarm is as far as you guys know, the swarm is resistant to, well, in her case, bludgeoning, but I will tell you, bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage from singular sources is halved.
So anything that's not magic, basically.
As far as you know.
That's what you just said.
As far as you know.
Jesus Christ. Onyx, your sword.
Yeah, it is Sai's turn.
Oh yeah, your magic sword.
Unless Ataraxia, unless you wanted to move and take the 2 hits, it's up to you.
Clear the door.
Do not clear the door.
I am a very squishy character, guys. I don't think you understand.
That's
Stepping
what I'm
out of
saying.
this
Don't
doorway
give them
could end
free
Am I
very
not the
badly.
weakest?
Druids
No,
are
that's
not,
why I'm the
yeah.
one that got affected by the sleep back in the cave because I had the lowest AC.
Druids are not meant to take a lot of hits. They're meant to cast cool spells and sit in the back. In most cases.
But I just don't have a steady spell slot, so this is all I had. This is all I could do.
And you did a good job with it.
You did a great job with it.
The best job, some would say.
Okay, what is Squishy doing?
Squishy's gonna have to get out of the way.
I will remind you, you get the same bonus they do, so you get a +5 to your AC the same way they get a +5. I'm sorry, it's half covered. You get a +2.
Look at your AC, weigh the odds.
Yeah, play the numbers.
Are you a gambling
I
woman,
do that at
Patty?
casino.
Are
It
you?
doesn't
I'm
work
moving.
out
I'm
too
moving
well.
because I'm in everybody's way. I gotta move.
Oh no!
Okay, you're moving? Okay.
House, you can tank it.
I don't want to look.
You shouldn't have.
No.
Okay.
Nope, the rats are coming in now.
Okay, the rats are going to make one attack each. And so...
But wouldn't they need to move?
No, because
No.
they make the attack when she turns her back.
No, it's as soon as I turn
Opportunity
around.
attack.
Well, I'm in the doorway.
Can she not
Oh.
walk backwards?
Damn.
It's not about walking backwards.
If I
it's
had
about,
if I had like technically like the bonus action disengage or something,
Yeah.
like you could pretend like I was walking backwards, but I don't have anything to disengage.
Yeah, because basically, the way it works mechanically is that you can use your action to retreat from combat in a way where they can't hit you. She used her action to smack, so she does not have enough time left in her 6 seconds to also block, basically. So it opens the opportunity for the dice to say whether or not she blocks. These two attacks, one is a 9, which does not hit you. The other is a 16. So what is your
What's the
AC plus 2?
My AC is a 16, so plus 2 would be an 18.
In that case, the 16 does not hit, because so you watch as their gnashing teeth and claws hit the side of the stone door frame and like skitter off, and then retreat. You are unharmed. Now it is size 2.
I really don't know how well this is gonna work, but I want to cast Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And make a really loud sound like thunder or something to scare the rats away, even though they're still fighting us for some reason.
We don't
Okay.
want to
Click.
scare them away. We want to collect them.
Yeah. Click. Are you trying to use Thaumaturgy to give yourself advantage on intimidation? Is that the part of Thaumaturgy you're using? By like
Yes,
making the lights dim and making a loud rumbling noise, and it's all part of the.
Yes.
Yeah. In that case, roll intimidation with advantage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll wisdom. Depending on how good you do, I will set a DC, and they will roll wisdom saves against the
I
fear
don't have
condition.
confidence here, but
You gotta believe.
Intimidation with it, and then roll it again.
Okay.
yeah, but they still can save on.
No, roll again because you had advantage.
20. Okay,
Oh.
I will say DC 15 wisdom save against the fear condition for 1 turn.
Wait, against the fear condition, or they have?
Well, no, like if they fail, they would get the fear condition.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
save. 1 would have passed, 1 would have failed. So what
Which was
happens is it doesn't matter. You do this thaumaturgy, and you watch as like the lights in the room start to dim, and you watch as the torches kind of flicker out, and your eyes start to glow red, and you make this large rumbling noise to try to scare off these swarms of rats. And you watch as some of the rats get scared and start to like turn tail and run, and then other rats like bristle against them and bite them and like rip them back and kind of snap them out of it. The swarm is immune to the frightened condition. They cannot.
Oh
be
my
frightened.
god, this is like the fucking frog in BG3.
It is very similar to that, actually. Though this is not a stat block that I modified, by the way. This is the standard D&D rat swarm stat block. It's just designed to be hard.
It sucks.
Well, it would have been easier if you fought them in an open room, but the first rat screamed and they heard it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So that was your
don't
action.
think I
You still have a bonus action.
I don't think I have anything. Oh.
Dude, these rats are strong.
You can
I think I
back.
have
You can
one
back
spell
away.
slot left, right?
I believe you have one left, so I don't know if you have any bonus action spells.
I do. Can I reach Onyx from here?
No, he is 10 feet from you.
Physically?
Can I
No.
somehow? Can I get there? Can I get in the doorway?
Yeah, you
You're
can. You can.
not.
I
take-
am.
Yeah, you could
You
do.
are?
I am.
You can you can diagonal 10 feet. I'm sorry, 5 feet into Onyx, and then
Okay.
do what you and then do a spell.
I touch
So you're
you
gonna
and I give you Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, you want
The
to?
way that it just
yeah.
went so silent.
Do you want to
He
click
said
the
that.
spell, and then very importantly, do you want to describe what it looks like?
Well, no, it looks like
Well, he's not breathing fire yet, right? It has to.
No.
be-
But I'm saying, like, what does it look like for Sai to enchant
Oh.
Onyx magically with this spell no one has
Yeah.
seen before?
So I'm assuming because it's Dragon's Breath, she kind of like goes into this like rumbling, like kind of hissing kind of language that nobody understands. Her eyes light up, and kind of flickers and sparks of blue light kind of flicker across her skin as she's casting this spell on Onyx.
Okay. Onyx, you can read the spell. You have that effect. It is size designation for the damage type. So which damage type are you picking? I think I know, but I need to hear you say it.
Well, I feel like the only way to go would be lightning.
I figured as much.
Her designation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say.
Okay, so
what?
in that case, Onyx, on your turn, as an action, instead of making a weapon attack, you can breathe a 15-foot cone of lightning.
And that would hit both things at once.
It is a cone from your point. So if you point it one way, it's like a triangle from that side of your character token. So if you went to like rat on the left, it would be a cone starting the tip of the triangle at you outwards.
So
Like that.
as
Okay, got it.
as Sai does that spell, she meets Onyx's gaze and goes, "Open your mouth and breathe out in either direction of the rats."
Great, it's not my turn.
Wait,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're
you have to
next
be-
after.
is that the end of your turn? Or
Yes.
are you, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Just
Onyx.
ruin the whole thing.
Onyx, it is now your
I'm
turn.
teasing, sorry.
No, I thought the rats go before me. They had a 7.
They had their turn already, so they go at the end, and then it goes into initiative.
Okay.
Because they attacked you at the start of the round.
Onyx,
Ew.
breathe lightning. Go.
Or he
I
could have
choose
used his
you.
really cool hell
Pokemon.
sword.
Do the thing.
Really cool hell sword
I
you
don't
just
know.
took away from him for
Sai
fun.
just kind of used her second level big spell. I don't know, it'd kind of be pretty cool.
Do the
to use
roar.
it.
It would be
Okay,
really
so-
rude if you
Do
didn't
the
use
roar.
it.
Do
Do
the
the
roar.
roar.
Do the
Do the
roar.
roar.
Do the roar.
Or a really cool hell sword.
Julie, do
Bro,
the thing.
Didn't
Didn't you just hear?
with the lightning. Okay, so I'm gonna aim at the
Do the roar.
passenger side.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And what? And you're aiming. You're using your sword or you're breathing.
The breathy thingy.
Okay. Then they will make a dexterity save
Boo.
at size DC, which is 13. They are.
Oh, so I don't shit you.
No, you just tell me who takes damage. That's the cool part about the spell.
Oh no.
Oh, they
They-
still take half damage?
Yeah, they
That's
take half
cool.
damage, yeah. So they do not have proficiency in dex saves, so it is a straight roll. 19.
What the fuck?
So Sai, you
Okay,
can
so
roll
4.
3d6 and then they will take half of that in lightning damage. They are not resistant to lightning damage, so they will take all the damage.
I should've
3d6.
done so much more.
We found
15.
something they're not immune to.
15 and a half.
So they
would be
take 7.5.
7.5 rounded down. You round damage down, so they take 7 lightning damage.
That's stupid.
It applies
Cool
to
hell
Pretty fucking cool.
it applies
you
to
can
you
still-
too. Okay, that was your action. Do you have a bonus action?
What am I gonna do? Run away and get hit again? No, I learned my lesson.
I mean, to be fair, if anybody could run away and not get hit, it would be you, because you have the highest AC even without cover. If you wanted to open up, like,
Well, I
The
can't
combat.
cast it again, so.
They meet
And
you.
Okay,
no,
wait,
it's
wait.
it's
Wait a
concentration.
second,
Well,
wait a second.
Sai, it's concentration for a minute. He could do that every turn for 10 rounds, so long as you don't get hit.
How? Wait. Could I move? Can I move there?
No, you cannot move through enemy spaces. They do not allow you to do so. You can move
Then I
through
can't
allied
move anywhere.
spaces. You can move through allied spaces. It'd be difficult terrain. So you could go through Sai. It would be 20 instead of 5, and then you can move again.
No,
and let you-
because I am the meat shield. I stay.
Oh, in that case, yes. Then if that is what you mean, then no, yeah. If you move everyone else, someone far squishier will be attacked.
I'm the meat shield then.
Yeah. Then you may stay there. Are you ending your turn there?
Trying to get in this doorway
Yes,
for
I'm
so
ending the
long.
turn.
Yeah. Calyx wants so badly to only have to deal with half cover.
Well, that I can also be a meat shield.
I mean, I could have moved, but
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so the
Oh,
rats.
now we have a problem.
Dragon
Now it
things
is-
to do.
Not
now
a
it is
gambler.
it is now the end of things. So now the rats will take their turn, and then the initiative order
scared.
goes to normal. The rats with 7 health, since they are less than half health, will be attacking at less than half health, which is its own bracket. You've bracketed that swarm. Attack for 6. That does not hit you. The other rat is above half health. They will be attacking you at the full health bracket. For 10, that does not hit. That is the rat's
I have
turn.
Great Meat Shield!
And that they do not have bonus actions. It is now Calyx's turn.
I'm gonna throw yet another axe at the swarm on the right.
Okay.
Again, same 3/4 cover, right?
Yep.
Alright, let me adjust my sheet before I throw the axe. Okay.
15. 15 matches their armor class with 3/4 cover. It's an AC
Meets
10
it, beats
plus.
it or no?
Yeah, meets it, beats it. So they have a 10 plus a 5. You rolled a 15. You hit. Roll damage. 9.
Yes.
It is slashing, so it's halved to 4
Oh.
4.5, rounded down to 4.
So they have 3 health left.
They have 3 health left.
Wait, you guys are getting numbers here?
I was just
No.
gonna ask that.
Ophis said it, and I'm good at remembering.
What do you mean
Fair.
what do you mean getting numbers? It's in the you rolled damage, 9 damage.
Not
right?
always.
No, Ophis,
No,
we're
yeah,
talking
they were-
about
they were
you
in
see
eight
a
round,
green
like-
bar.
Oh. I thought the green bar
Okay,
was
fair enough.
visible.
Yeah.
It has
That's
3
it.
health.
No, the only
green bar
numbers
is
are
visible,
visible
but they
are
were
the
able
ones
to
on
do
our
the
own
math.
screen for our own character.
Oh, I see.
Figure out that it was 3 health left, and we were like, wait, where did you get the 3 from?
Yeah.
And that ends my turn because I can't end in size space.
Just move me out of the way. I don't know. Push me out of the rats.
Does not work that way.
No, I will
Uh,
not.
Cole, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna do magic missile.
Okay. Designate your targets.
I'm gonna put 1 on the right hand side, the little group,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 on the left group.
Okay, so roll 1d4 and then 2d4. So 4 damage. So that one dies.
Hey!
And
Oh,
4
Oh
damage.
my God.
Double that one. Okay, so
No!
Well,
What
you try
happens
your
is-
best, but you don't
Yeah.
succeed.
after the
Just
hand
look at
axe,
yourself.
after the hand axe ripped through the swarm on the right and cleaved off the heads of a couple of rats, there's like 2 rats left. Barely, not even a swarm anymore. And you watch as Cole shoots out one last magic missile, and it flies over and it like lands in between them and explodes. And it like it scatters the 2 rats into the walls, and they slam into the walls and fall on the ground and stop moving. That swarm is now
Yeet.
dead. And then the swarm on the
Bye.
left takes 4 damage, as you watch as the 2 missiles are somehow weaker than the other ones were, and each only take out like a rat.
I swear it's my first time.
Second time.
Do you have a bonus action?
Blew your load too early.
I wasn't ready.
I swear this never happened.
Action.
They weren't gentle.
Do you have a bonus action?
I swear this never happens, guys.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for your bonus action?
No, I got
Okay.
nothing
Then
to do.
it is now Bronte's turn. There is 1 swarm of rats left.
Oh, I'm gonna repeat my previous action of firebolt through Weavebreaker.
Okay, go for it. Roll 1d10 plus 6.
It's still casted as a splash.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
will
gonna
fix
do-
that in
yeah.
between sessions. I don't know why it's doing that, because
You
your shit worked
said-
fine.
Yeah, that's so weird.
You said 1d10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, 1d20 plus 6, and then the damage is 1d10. So yeah, it hits. 23 hits.
Yep, and then it's 1d10 plus. whatever.
Plus nothing, because it's a cantrip. 9. They are not resistant to fire. So
Wait, he doesn't add his into the damage?
What do you
That's the damage. I have to roll for
Oh,
fire damage
yeah.
still too, don't I?
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
the 1d10 is the fire damage. The 1d20 is to see if you hit.
Oh, that's true.
It would auto roll, but for some reason your thing is broken, so it
Yeah, it
won't.
thinks
So I'll
everything's
have to
after
Good job, Brontes.
huge chunk.
This
watch
is why
this-
we can't have nice things.
You watch as this little fireball leaves Brontes' fingers, and it grows in size and slams into the center of the swarm, and it pops and explodes, and it singes 5 or 6 rats into ash, and now there's only like 2 or 3 rats skittering around, panicked at all of their.
Wait, hold up. Are we gonna be able to collect those heads?
They're charred but whole.
Mechanically, the rats are whole. Yeah, so long as you don't like. It's a bounty
Does
system.
anybody else smell burning hair?
Anyone want some barbecue?
And then
Barbecue?
is that the end of your turn, Brontes?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Ataraxia, it's your turn.
Yo, Ophis, what happened to the music?
It's
I
playing.
hear organ music.
Went to Pokemon like music.
It's on a playlist.
Oh, we got nothing.
What?
I think I might have to forfeit my turn because I'm actually completely useless in this current situation.
You could choose to take the dodge action, which is just like
And
you,
dodge.
You just
you stand
Jump
there.
out of the
what?
way.
Well, no, you stand there, and if anything were to attack you this turn, they have disadvantage. That's what the dodge action is.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, I'll take the dodge
Okay.
action.
Okay, then Side is your turn.
You can breathe fire again.
I know it's your turn.
Oh,
it's your
can I
turn.
reach- Can I reach the rats from here?
Yes, they are within 5 feet.
Can I shocking grass cantrip them?
You may roll for shocking grasp.
Okay. If it loads,
yeah.
ever.
Your sheet should work. I know I fixed it. So if you click shocking grasp, yeah. That hits. So roll damage.
1d8.
1d8. You should be able to just click shocking grasp. It should roll it like click the spell in. There you go. And then 7. They are not resistant to lightning damage. So that you watch as Sai reaches out around the corner of the door frame, spreads her fingers out, and with her pinky and her thumb touch the last 2 rats. This electric current rushes down her arm and just instantly fries them like a portable electric chair, and they both fall over smoking, and they die.
I did nothing except be a meat shield.
You breathed once.
Boy.
What a great
Yeah.
shield you were, buddy.
We appreciate
Okay.
you for
Did
that.
you
I
enjoy being
actually
licked by
honor your
rats?
sacrifice.
Okay, at that point, the combat, we will keep the initiative order because you are still technically in combat.
Oh.
But you may now, you know what? Screw it. We're keeping the initiative. You are now out of combat, but I will tell you that you are still in combat.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, question: did anybody get bit there? Is everybody okay?
I got
All
all my
good.
fingers.
I'm fine.
Literally,
I'm
no
good.
one got hit because
I
you
think Bronte
soaked
should
every
restart his
hit.
10-minute thing.
Should I restart my ritual cast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, I'll go back. to
Maybe
sitting
we're a
on the-
little bit more careful.
I'll
Maybe
go
we
back to
close this
sitting
door
on the
so they
floor
can't get
over
to you.
here.
Okay, let's. Whoever's going on the exploration part, why don't we go forward and close this door? And that way Brontes could be undisturbed.
And
I'll
Abby
stay
can
back
make
just
sure
in
he's
case something
safe.
makes its way in here.
Wait,
somehow,
hold
but
up, hold
I'm
up.
not
Do we have
capable
someone
of
that can
doing
actually attack?
Ataraxia kind
I
of
can do
seemed like she was
something, but I'm
running
definitely
on
not going
fumes
with
in
you
that
guys because
last
then I'm screwed.
battle.
Honestly, it seems like there's a room to our right, but then it leads you into another corridor. As long as we clear the room on the right, somebody waits in the hallway, we should be okay.
So
I'm
we're
with it.
Can I
Ophis,
sneak
to be
up?
clear, we're closing the door and locking Ataraxia and Brontes in there for 7 minutes in heaven.
Okay.
10.
It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes in heaven, sir.
concentration.
Well, this guy's a stallion. 10 minutes?
Oh my god.
It's not his
You know-
first time.
So I'd like to say, while everybody's doing this, I'm gonna recollect my 2 hand axes,
Yep.
and I'm gonna start chopping heads grossly.
Okay, guys, do
I'm
you
gonna
want me
sit
to be
down and
meat
play
shield
my
again and go
pan
into the
flute
next
while,
room?
I will
Meat
say,
shield,
I will
meat
say,
shield, meat
Calix,
shield.
as you chop up and you start collecting heads, about 1 minute has passed. Size spell ends. You no longer have Dragon's Breath, Onyx.
Oh, do they want to continue
Oh,
while I'm doing
no,
this? I kind of
sorry.
meant it as as they continue. So
Oh,
it
if
takes
they-
a minute for them.
Oh
to do
yeah, if
whatever.
you want to take a minute to start doing that, they can move by themselves, but you cannot move. If they're going to wait for you, then he loses Dragon's Breath.
I will wait.
And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna investigate for any abnormalities of the rats.
Okay, in that
That's
case, I will say roll survival for collecting heads, and then I will say roll investigation for abnormalities, and then Sai and Onyx, if you want to wait for them, say so. If not, you can start moving forward if you want to
And
continue with the Dragon's Breath.
I want to continue with the dragon's breath
Okay,
because I don't want that spell to be
Okay.
wasted.
that's fine. In that case, you guys can move forward. However, whether you want to stealth forward or just walk forward,
Wait.
you can.
I
But
Sai, do you want me to walk into this room that's right next to us, or we want to go into the big room that's ahead of us?
I would suggest
Um,
go one by one. Don't get something behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, Cole makes a good point. Let's walk into this next room.
Can we record you saying that?
Nope, it'll never happen again.
Just
Um,
like you saying my name.
do you still feel comfortable going first?
Yep. Apparently, my only task is to be meat shield.
That a
Okay.
girl.
Okay, so
Wait, T-Time, just to confirm, I have to roll survival for chopping off heads, correct?
Yeah, it's survival because you're doing it in like a combat scenario. Like the dungeon is not clear.
I'm gonna take my time.
Okay, in that case, you take a while to do that. You don't need to roll. You do need to roll for investigation for abnormalities.
Agreed.
I was just saying, is that
It's dead
something? If I'm
rats.
staying with him,
Say
can
less.
I?
Cole, what were you saying, Cole?
Does it make a difference if I was here, like with him? If I was looking, like investigating as well, just me and him, because I hang back?
If you're investigating for abnormalities, it would give him advantage.
So I can roll again.
If
is
he says that he's gonna be with you throughout the entire course of the investigation.
Yeah, I said I'm hanging back with him.
Okay,
already.
then yeah, in that case, roll twice, take the highest.
Okay,
Damn!
let's go.
A lot of the bodies are like all messed up and fried or burned or punched with magic missiles. One of them got bonked by a quarterstaff. It's kind of funny. But for the most part, they all look really well fed, like really well fed rats, and they all have that like greasy kind of sheen to their fur. The ones that aren't burned to death, but you don't notice any abnormalities that make them look any different than any sort of rat. With a 17, I'll say like you see a couple fleas, but like they're not riddled and they don't look sick. They just look like they're wild animals that have fleas. The fleas also do not look particularly weird compared to other animals you've seen that have like any kind of mange or anything like that. It just looks like bugs.
That's fair. So is it? I guess I want to ask one clarifying question.
Yeah.
Is it abnormal with the limited grain stores in this area based on what the Captain Ironwood told me? Is it like weird that they're so well fed and like greasy or no?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm wondering.
This many
It is
rats, even discounting the one big rat you just fought in the room, these
Like
two
the pets.
swarms of rats could probably clear out just like a sack of grain a day. And for them to be this well fed, if he's saying that none of the stores upstairs are even touched, is abnormal. Especially if there are more rats, that would make it even more abnormal. But you don't know the total amount of rats that are down here.
That's fair. How many rat heads over the course of this?
Each swarm
Because you
is
said a 24 swarm. Before.
each swarm is 3d6, so roll 6d6 and it's that many heads.
Okay, give me a hot sec. I have a thing for this. 1 second, 66. Boop.
There are 13
13
rat
heads.
heads.
God damn it.
That was an awful roll.
Yeah, it was.
All terrible.
Wait, you
And
didn't
you
roll
get
them
advantage 'cause
beforehand?
Cole's here.
No, I didn't roll them
Does he get
beforehand.
advantage?
Damn it!
It was whoever made the survival check, but you said you weren't making the survival check because you're taking your time, so I let you roll it.
Damn it! Fair enough.
Okay.
Alright.
It's a D&D, man. I gotta let you guys roll the dice. That's the fun.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So we have
I thought
14
there were
total.
more
'Cause we got
rats.
one from the other room. Correct?
Yeah, you currently have 14 total rat heads.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is about
Yeah.
like
Fucking
42
6
copper.
rounds of fighting
Yeah.
to get fucking 13 rats.
Okay.
While that is happening, Onyx and Sai, you are clearing out the room to your north, right?
I'm about to walk in it, yeah.
Okay. Pan flute. You hear a poorly played pan flute from the other side of the door where you
I'm
left
learning.
Brontes and Ataraxia.
And they get music mixed in there.
Yeah.
It's getting
Okay,
spicy.
so I just walked in this other room. Did anything happen?
You see an empty room with like literally what it looks like. You see like 2 knocked over benches. It looks like a
Can I
storage room.
do?
Storage room
Can I
with
do a
nothing in it.
perception check to see if there's any rats in here?
Oh yeah, investigation. Yeah, for rats.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation to search the room.
You get advantage.
Not
if
bueno.
Sai's with you.
Sai, are you helping him investigate the room?
Sorry.
Jingle jingle.
Hello, darkness,
Are
my
you
old
helping
friend.
Onyx investigate the room that you guys are searching?
Sorry. Can you tell that my brain's fried?
Yes. Are you assisting or are you just standing behind him?
I am assisting.
Okay, then Onyx, roll one more time. Take the highest.
It's gonna be like a 2.
12.
Hey!
You searched the
That's
room
good.
fairly thoroughly. There is no sign of any living thing in this room. There is no supplies, no grain stores. Literally just 2. It looks like extra chairs, and there's like 2 knocked over chairs left that maybe they brought up to the dining hall, and they just haven't put the chairs back in the room yet. It looks completely empty.
Okay, I'm gonna back out of the room. We're gonna close the door behind us.
Okay. I will say at this point, it has been a total of, let's say, 36 seconds since you stopped the combat. It has been 5 rounds. I'm sorry, 6 rounds.
How long does it take Calyx to
About
go
a,
over all this?
I said it took. I said it would take about a minute, so he is a little.
Okay.
He is slightly more than halfway done.
Okay.
Ophis, just to clarify in terms of the map.
Yeah.
So there's a big room, and then there's a small room off in the corner, and then a bigger room up toward the top. Is that correct?
Yeah. So in front of you is what looks to be a main room, and then that main room has 2 doors on the north wall. You don't know the size of the rooms in there, but you know that there are 2 doors on the north wall.
I kind of yell out, I'm almost halfway done if you want to wait.
Me too.
You can wait. If you do so, you will lose the Dragon's Breath. You still have 3, 6. You still have 3 or 4 rounds of Dragon's Breath.
24 seconds.
No waiting. Keep going.
Go,
Bitch,
Michigan,
wait!
go.
Oh, you have size vote.
I will advance
I would love
into
to-
the main room. Just barely.
Okay, you advance to the main room. You do not see anything. Unless you wish to search the room.
Sai, get close to me.
I'm here. I'm coming. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ah!
I will... It's investigation again?
Yeah. Are you going to, like, go into the room and search the entirety of the room, or are you just quick glancing the room before you step further in?
Quick glancing from where I'm currently standing.
From where you're standing, it would be perception then.
Perception.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's better anyway. And do I get advantage because she's with me?
She gets to roll. She can't help you see, but she can try to see.
Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's fine then.
Let's see. Perception. It's not great.
Okay,
Oh,
so
well,
an 8
that
and a
wasn't
10, you do not see anything in the room.
Well, my passive perception is better if that helps.
What I will say, the room that you see before you, like I said, it's all stone, but you do see, like, piles of not garbage, or like refuse, but piles of like broken wood and stone, like off to the corner, like over here. And then you see the equivalent of like a support beam that got knocked over that they just left in here because like it's extra lumber that they don't know what to do with, but they don't want to throw it out, so it's kind of down here. There's like a crate in the corner that is open and empty, but you never know when you're gonna need a crate, right? Like it's very sparse and very like we kind of threw it down here, but you do not see any signs of rats.
Quick question for you, just because I'm seeing it. Is there a door here at the bottom that goes out to this moat, or is like this walkway?
No, it's all solid stone wall. None of that like walkway stuff is there.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, Sai, we're going to the next room. Okay, we're gonna walk up to the next door together.
And stop.
And then I'm gonna open the door and go in.
Okay.
Stop.
Here's what happens. In the little in this little pile here.
Which pile?
I will do it. Give me a sec.
Aw, man.
So hiding.
Oh shit!
Hiding.
We got chonkers.
Yeah, hiding where I said this like the beam was in the crate and whatever. Hiding in wait after hearing you kill their friends. The rats rolled stealth off screen. The DC was 13. You did not see them. You walked within 5 feet. They are going to surprise attack you. The swarm is going to surprise attack you, and then the rats will make a surprise move, but they will not get to attack. So this swarm.
Do we still have the AC bonus, or am I just back to my regular?
You are back to your regular. Yeah, there's no door frame or anything obscuring you. They are running right up at you and attacking your ankles.
Okay.
He's going to make an advantage because he has more than half health. For 18, which I believe you said is your armor class.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's meets it, beats it. So, you will take 6 piercing damage.
Does that mean they bit me?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And then this rat is going to run here, and this rat is going to run here. But they do not get to make an attack at this time. I will then initiative for rat. And then sort. Okay, at this point, initiative has restarted. Your friends are... 2 of them are in a room with a closed door and cannot hear you. The other 2 are currently chopping off rat heads for the next 4 or so rounds. And you 2 are being attacked by a swarm of rats and 2 other rats.
Question: did Onyx scream while he was bitten?
Would Onyx have screamed like a little girl when he saw a rat, or are you taking it like a man?
Because he took.
Onyx definitely would have been like, "Are you little motherfucker?"
I will say you heard Onyx angrily make an exacerbated sound.
I don't want to metagame here, but I'm like, would that be enough for Calyx? I feel like it would be with Onyx is going, "You little motherfucker," but I also don't know if that'd be Psy. It's kind of synonymous here.
That's that is up to Calyx's interpretation. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to tell you how you can think. I think that's a little too much.
I think I hear Onyx, and that's a problem.
Yeah, so I'm going to look at Cole, and I'm going to like nudge my head, and we're going to go forward.
Okay.
Because I have dark vision. Would I see the rat approaching Psy at this point is what it kind of gives me.
What is that? 35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You have what, 60-foot dark vision?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the rat. Again, it's like up to size small, so it's up to like her knee. It's a big rat.
So these are the chonkers, right?
Yeah, these are like the big singular rats, and then the one that says swarm of rats is another of the swarm that you two just killed.
Okay.
I will follow you, Calyx, right behind you.
Oh god, 1 second. I have to look something up. Because I can't remember rules on throwing enemies.
I don't remember.
Right now, just to make sure before I say anything else.
I don't remember, so we're going to use Baldur's Gate 3 rules, which is contested athletics, I think. Because you're not a barbarian, so you would just be throwing.
I'm not.
So yeah, so I'm going to say it's contested athletics.
Okay.
But the damage is going to count as unarmored, like an improvised weapon,
Yeah,
so it's only going to be a
improvised
D4.
weapon.
It's going to be a D4.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine with me for what I have planned.
And
right
I'm
now.
also going to say, like, in the future, we're applying, like, I don't weigh out my enemies, so I'm just going to say rats are pretty light, you could throw them, but I reserve the right to say, no, that's too heavy in the future.
That is fair. It's just like one rat where I'm like, I feel like with my large size, I can throw him. You know what I mean?
Before Calyx decides he's going to be like, Calyx going to football toss the beholder. No, you said I could throw it.
Yeah, so that is like 30 feet on the dot to actually get him. I don't know if you saw me measure that out, but I'm going to get here, and I'm going to yeet this rat, 1 second, to, where's my FX button? For glow. I'm going to yeet this rat at this rat.
Okay, I will say roll athletics. Rat will contest your athletics, though I'm willing to bet he will fail.
Oh.
He does not even have an athletics, so it's just straight strength. Fun fact, he has a -4 strength. So he rolls a 9, which makes it a 5. He fails. This rat moves to this space, hits that other rat, and then bounces. Both rats will take 1d4 damage. You can roll 1d4 damage.
No strength bonus?
No, because it's improvised. You don't get a modifier.
Oh.
Unless
that's not a proficiency thing. Oh, do you get a modifier?
Well, yeah, because
I thought it was just modifier to hit.
I thought it was modifier to damage, like because you would be like with a monk, right? It's like you only get the dex bonus because you're a monk and you're proficient, but you're not proficient in it because it's improvised.
You got me there. I am not proficient in rat throwing. You are completely correct.
Well, I didn't know if your background gave you like the tavern brawler type thing, or it's like you get proficiency in not weapons, because I would count this as improvised. Okay, in that case,
100%.
In that case, it's just a 1d4, and there's a 25% chance. And 25% chance you do something really funny.
Fair enough. So you just kind of hear Calyx stomping up, kind of like pissed off because he sees what's happening. He goes, he grabs the rat by the midsection, just yeets it at another rat nearby. Whew,
yep.
Let's go.
So you all watch Calyx grab this rat and like whip it by the tail, and he launches it, and it slams into the other rat, and you just watch as they make this disgusting slapping noise, and you hear this like thud, dull crunch, and then both rats pop into viscera and both die instantly as they only have 3 health each.
Which room did that noise come from?
The one that you just watched Calyx bull charge into.
Thank you, Calyx. I'm pretty sure you got my joke.
Yep.
I got it.
What did you say?
I didn't.
Jeez.
But and that is Calyx. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that I'm out of actions at this point, and he's done what he wanted to do. So he's not gonna take any bonus actions.
Okay, Cole, if you want to take your turn.
How far can I move?
30 feet.
30 feet? Cool. I'd like to move right behind Calix. That is 30 feet on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. Hang on. I cannot touch my character. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay. Now, does Calix count as cover?
No.
That's
I
a
mean-
fucking question.
I mean, he's a
He was gonna try to sneak attack.
It doesn't matter if he did. Onyx is within 5 feet, so he gets a sneak attack anyway.
Oh, cool. So I guess I'll probably do short bow at one of the fat motherfuckers. Oh no, wait.
Both of those guys are dead.
God,
Oh,
God,
You
sorry,
could shoot
sorry.
the bodies if you want to BM, but
No.
they're dead. You're fairly confident that the 2 mushed up furry pools of viscera that were once rats are probably dead.
So I guess I'll do short bow at the swarm and hopefully I pierce like 5 of them.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Damn!
You watch as you line. Well, first of all, you didn't roll
Piercing
sneak.
doesn't-
You didn't roll sneak attack with that. So roll sneak attack.
Oh, where's that? Oh,
You didn't have it enabled. I think it's what is it at level 3? What are you 1d6? Help me out. Help me out.
2d6.
Kelly.
2d6.
2d6. Okay.
2d6.
So roll 46 because you crit.
oh, what?
Okay, you just rolled sneak
Wait,
and just
So
go.
there's a little
Well,
dice button in the
yeah.
top left corner where you can
yeah,
just do
so
4d6.
I'm rolling a 2d6.
4d6.
Yeah.
Because you crit.
Or
46. Okay.
So you double the dice.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
So that is 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 plus 19 is 34. 34.
holy shit!
34.
Get up by my onyx!
But it's it's piercing damage, which they are resistant to, so it's 34 halved, which would be 17.
17.
17.
That's
Okay.
still a good.
So I just
You
had
don't bite my
to
onyx, you
make sure
fuckers.
my math was right. So Cole, you know what? I'll let you have this one. Describe your mega crit on the swarm of rats while I modify their health.
Dude, this bow was lined up so perfect. Just, I had it lined up, saw him in a line, boom, went right through. How many of them get to die? 17?
About 80% of the rats.
Cool. They were all lined up perfect, and my arrow was just like in Guardians of the Galaxy, freaking Yondu's. Just meow, 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 meow. Shit couldn't miss.
Yeah, you watch as it does that. It gets like 10 or 15 rats, and then it perfectly lines them all up at exactly the right height through their neck, and then pins itself to the wall. And they're all like 15 rats are hanging there on the arrow, like a drying rack at a hunter's cabin. And the rats are all just like hanging there limply. And there's like 4 rats staring wide-eyed at the fact that there were way more rats, and all the rats are gone.
So, Mr. Ophis,
Yeah.
when we collect these rats, do my 15 stay barbecued? Skewered?
I mean, you could choose to take them off the arrow or not. It's up to you.
Well, okay, but I'll get all 15 no matter what.
Well, the amount of
He's
rats.
asking in terms of numbers here.
No, the amount of rat. Once you defeat the swarm, you roll 3d6. That's how many rats it is. This is flavor text. This is like in
But
the.
just 15 on my damn skewer.
Listen. This
They
is a
disappeared.
role-playing game. In a video game, everything has vanilla flavor text that the writer writes. That's your vanilla flavor text for your crit. Take it, or I delete the rats and you get none.
We'll take it.
Listen, I was
We'll
talking
take it.
above
We'll
board. Take a joke.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Okay, Cole, are you using a bonus action?
I don't think there's really anything for me to do.
I mean, you could go back into the hallway and hide in case there's more rats. You could dash. And
Nah,
move
I'll
30 feet.
chill. I'll chill right here. I'll end my turn.
Okay. Ataraxia, you are playing the pan flute in front of Brontes, who has been reconcentrating for about 24 seconds. I'm sorry, 36 seconds.
Oh my god.
Into his 10-minute
Also, they
ritual.
don't hear this, right?
They do not know. Nothing has made ample sound, and the door is closed. So as far as they're concerned, you guys are just walking around and checking rooms.
Like I can't really. I'm
How do
chilling.
you straight
I don't know.
vibing right now with the pan flute?
Yeah. Is that
Like pan flute noises,
do you?
please.
Yeah. Do you? Unfortunately, I don't have that sound effect. But maybe next
No.
time.
I wasn't asking from you. I was asking from Atarax.
Oh, well, by all means, go for it.
I'm good.
Okay. In that case, Brontes, it is your turn. Do you use your action to continue on ritual casting detect magic?
C.
Okay, that is your turn. Sai, you watch basically all the enemies that jumped you instantly die. There's like 4 rats left in the swarm of rats in front of Onyx. What do you do?
I step forward and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay,
cantrip.
go for it.
Not that one. Don't ignore that.
Okay, and then roll, and then just click Shocking Grasp and roll damage. 5. Okay. You grab a fistful of rat, and you watch as the lightning like daisy chains, and someone plays a pan flute through the microphone, and there is now a rat left.
Why?
Do you have a bonus action?
I don't think so. I think that is my turn.
Okay, Onyx, it is your turn.
Much to my dismay, I will use the Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
Dismay, that is so fucking
Okay,
cool.
I will
Pardon my
say.
language.
I will say.
Sword!
I will say.
You gave that power to the wrong person.
Yeah, it's fine. I will say you can do that. You can angle the cone in a way where it does not hit Sai. I'm fine with that. There is no point in rolling because at minimum 3d6
I would
can...
be resistant to that anyway, wouldn't I?
Yeah, but why take any damage when you could just not take any?
Yeah, but it looks badass if I take damage.
Onyx, do you position it in a way that also hits Sai?
No, don't hit me.
No.
There you go.
Then take away your hell sword. You don't give her the gratitude of looking
Okay,
cool.
so minimum damage on 3d6 is 3, so you can't not kill it because it has 2 health. So describe how you Fusro Da the swarm of rats as they all explode.
I open my mouth and I'm shocked
Thank you for the
again
reference.
because like lightning
Get it?
comes
Shocked?
out of it, and it left like an electric aftertaste.
Ah, good
on my
one.
tongue.
I get it, cool.
Hey!
Okay, and with that, combat is now over, as you are fairly confident that you have killed all the rats that you have found so far.
Is it over or over?
I am turning off the initiative order. Take that to mean whatever
So-
it will.
Guys, I think me and Calix should collect the heads. You two should investigate that room.
I really think that I'm a little concerned that I got bit, guys.
If you're not hurt
Yeah,
yet, keep going.
I look at Cole and I look between Cole and Onyx. And I'm like, are we?
Bitch, what?
Are you okay, Onyx?
Is he gonna get worse if he gets bit again? It's not gonna double the sickness.
You know, I
I'd
can't
I'd
really
like to
argue with
clarify, I
Cole's
still
point.
don't know what's going on outside this room, right?
Yeah,
He's sick.
neither of you
He's
know what's
sick.
happening.
Okay.
If he's gonna be
I'm
sick,
doing
you
what
might
I'm
as well
literally
get some
doing
more
and
damage
sitting on the
done.
floor
And
crisscross.
let's get us some more money.
Okay,
I'm just
I
saying.
look at Onyx. I'm like, I whisper to Onyx, "Are you in a bad relationship here? Do you need help right now? Are you okay?"
Don't be a bitch.